Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing.
Yes. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Your boy Salman back in the building. Another week, another opportunity to make another dollar. Made some good dollars today alone. Let me see, I got the chat room looking all big and shit. What's going on, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here in the chat room, man. People slowly coming into the chat room here. Who's in the building already? Wesley the dog, what's good, man? First in the building. Mickey Bang Bang. Keithish Barrow. What's going on, Mr. Dupree? Bo Vosh, back scientist. What's good? Who else is in here? David K. Money Stay Woke. Chase. And so many other people slowly coming into the chat room. Everybody hear me loud and clear, right? Loud and clear. We all good to go? All right. I know before the show I was having a little bit of issue, but it looks like we're looking good right now. Let's go ahead and get things popping off. What's good, Bad Scientist? Vincent, hello. Jacob, how you doing? Michael Braxton coming into the building. Let's go ahead and get the show started, man. The market was just crazy. Another amazing day on the exchange, man. Another amazing day on the exchange. We had articles coming out like crazy today. One of the most popular one on Market Watch is Trump's stock market rally annihilating bears. Global stock markets are up $3.1 trillion. Let me say that again. $3.1 trillion of value has been created since November. $3.1 trillion of value, all right, has been created since November. All right, that's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. We have not, we have not had a decline of at least 1% yet. Since the beginning of the year, we have not had a 1% decline in the market yet. In 2016, we only had 20 days, I think 22 days. 2015, we had like 33 days. 2014, 19 days. But for 2017, we have not had a single day on the exchange where we have lost at least 1%. That's insane. I mean, you can't help but go long now. So somebody got at me and said, hey, why are you tweeting all these expensive stocks? It's because the big stocks are running like pennies. If that's happening, you find some of these big stocks to go and go long in. I love the pennies more than anything, but when I start seeing higher price stocks putting on 5, 6, 7, 8%, I'm going to run to those options and go ham. There's money to be made here, folks. Money to be made. Yes, indeed. Somebody said new bull market started at 20,000. I believe it, Bovash. I you know what, and I agree. I do believe this will be an epic bubble and it will explode eventually. And many of us in this chat room right now are young enough to we're going to experience it. And it's going to be a hard ass fall. That's why I thank God for this show, because we're going to hopefully see it coming. we're going to see it coming here. We're going to see it coming here. I got EA Electronic Arts on the screen here. This is one of my ultra longs. This is one of my retirement stocks here. This is one of those stocks that I think that, you know, when I'm in my 50s or 60s, I can see EA Sports creating games where you like physically, you know, feel like you're in a damn game. I'm talking like you going for a touchdown and you literally feel your body sweating and, you know, all that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get some tickers up and on the screen here. I see somebody putting in ZAN up 41% today. Here's let me start looking at the 5-minute. Where's the 5-minute? Here's the 5-minute chart in ZAN, and it doesn't look so nice on the 5-minute chart here. But you know, look, you know, this is something that wasn't really doing anything, right? It just kind of came alive today. Let's see here. What's the 1 week look like? Yeah, this is basically wasn't doing anything. All right, so this stock wasn't really doing anything at all recently, and is now up almost 41% today. What was the news behind this, sir? What was the news behind this? Let me see here. What was the news behind this? Let me see here, ZAN. Let me see here. I don't see any news out on it. Yeah, I don't see any news where that created that one. See another 2008. I believe it. I believe we're going to be a part of that. You know, many of us in this chat room, we're going to see an unfortunate, you know, decline when this eventually does happen. Let me see here. MYSZ. Okay, so yeah, this is the one that kind of went crazy mid-afternoon there. As you can see, this kind of went crazy at about 1:30. After, you know, pretty much a great morning, and then went sideways. Almost looked like it was about to crack lower. Then all of a sudden, you just find all this sudden buying volume coming into the stock here, going higher for 1097. This is pretty insane on MYSZ. Huge move on that one. I actually, you know, this let me see here. All right, see how it just really. All right, so this is a stock that really had nothing going for it. All right, so you guys are going in that direction these days, huh? Just like these stocks that are just kind of high flyers out of nowhere, no news, no nothing. I'm going to put that on the list though, just because the way it's setting up, I like how it has that late day momentum. So, and with a 184% gain, you know, look, that's just insane. Although I'd like to see more volume on that, though. I'd love to see a little bit more volume on that. We'll see what happens there. Tristan, yeah, RNN came out with that little brochure. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm going to post that in the Discord room. They came out with that little brochure. Somebody sent me that email that RNN put out. And it mentioned how they were. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up myself here. RNN. Bruce Cole. Shout out to Bruce Cole for giving it to me. Mentioned how they were being, you know, they were under analyst coverage. They actually have 4 analysts from pretty decent, you know, investment banks covering the stock, and mentioned some of the couple, you know, drugs they have under their pipeline. Some of them look legit. Some of them kind of like, I don't know if it's just theory or what, but we'll see what happens with that. Dino Mars saying Ciru broke 200. Ciru, interesting gain today, almost 20% gained on Ciru. Again, here's another situation where you had a late day run in Ciru where, you know, all of a sudden at noon, at noon, you had these stocks, some of these stocks running. I wasn't sure where all this late day momentum came from. Someone saying MYSZ was a pump. Again, ladies and gentlemen, phone lines are open. Phone lines are open. Ewell, Freed, AUPH, VNR setting up. Yeah, we're going to go through all those in just a minute here. We're going to go through all those. 153 gained alone in CERU. That's been on our list several times here, so it's going to be interesting to see CERU. Can it make that run again? Let me know that. Can it make that run again? 772 Treasure Hunter, you're on the air. What's up, man?
Man, I tell you, man, great day in the market, brother.
Man, I mean, I can't, tell people enough. I feel like I started this show the perfect time. We got this president that's going to make us millionaires, man. I think you just can't help but go long right now.
Long and short, it all depends which one you hop into.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget our old-time favorite did a nice little pop today, Drys, DRYS.
Yes, I did see Drys run, and Drys is kind of one of those things where let's see it, man. It can run multiple days, so I'll never ever count Drys out. So we'll see what happens with Drys come tomorrow.
Yep. And another one I got was AUPH.
Yeah, AUPH.
I did pretty good at him too.
Going heavy in the chat room here. AUPH, incredible 12% gain on the stock again today in one day alone. AUPH, and I think this was just also not news driven, if I'm correct. This is another stock that I didn't see any news on. AUPH. Let me see here. No news at all on AUPH.
So people says buying it just for the hell of it, then, huh?
Well, hold on. I see something that came out on the.
Cause I was gonna put a little more into it. I mean, I know it might crash. I don't know what your fancy.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I see on AUPH was a press release stating how the company was going to participate in a healthcare conference. But other than that, looks like this was just pure momentum. They've had a beautiful month so far. A couple of days here, pulled back here, 7, 8, 9. But again, this is on the hourly chart here, looking really, really good. If we go and look at the daily chart still nice, hanging over the 4 and 8. Nice strong day today. This is AUPH today. Nice move from 325 to 362. You're still, nice and high. So, by all means, the indicators are saying, stay in. You're well above the 20-day moving average. The gap isn't closing. So AUPH looking like something you can hold for a couple of days here.
Nice. I do both the expensive and the cheap ones. And let's take a look at my 000 play, IVFZF.
Okay, now this one, IVFZF. It did something ridiculous today.
How much is it now, Sal?
Right now it's at, 4 cents?
Not bad. It touched 6 today.
But what was the volume, though? I think the volume was something ridiculously low, though.
That right there, certain 000 plays that I play, saying when I get in 000s, saying throw a little something in it, and sit back and count and watch it grow a little bit, and just take your take your profits and move on to the next one. Yeah. Some became like camping, and don't worry about the profit, but this one I like because whenever it goes to doubles, throw cash in and it'll pop 6, 8, cash out or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
Yeah, well, but you see what I did though, right? It was 000s and growed and popped 60 day, take your profits. And,
Yeah, I mean, somebody got somebody to buy those overpriced shares. Definitely, nothing I would have waited for. But I mean, hey, money is money wherever you can get it, bro.
Yep. Well, throw them at you, but I definitely keep my eyes over on APH. But hey, another one though. Hold on, let me look this one up. I don't know what it is, but I've been hanging on to this one for 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay.
See a take on it. RNVA. Something about RNVA. I bought some shares.
Yeah. I mean, RNVA didn't do much at all. Let me see here. Let's see on the daily chart.
Is that a wind up? I'm looking. I mean, I don't know what you take on. It might be a dud, but something just.
Yeah, it didn't do much today. I mean, it's just there's nothing going on in it right now. Yeah. In RNVA. Here's the week. Let me see. Let's go for the month. There's just nothing going on right now in the stock RNVA. So I'm only focusing.
Yeah, because I didn't lose nothing on it, but I didn't. It's like I'm like sideways on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's just nothing going on right now. If they got something going on, you'll see the volume come back into it. But other than that,
do a little pop to it, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with it.
Yeah, I might cash out and flip that and look on to something else then. Yeah, because I was gonna say sideways. I usually stay in there for a couple of days and see what happens, but it's just like straight sides. So I don't know. I might move on. But that was it, bro.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call, Treasure Hunter.
You got it, Cuzzo.
All right, man. Thank you, Treasure Hunter, for the call there. Thank you for the call. And I mean, so some of those, like if you want to sit in the stock, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to just sit in it, there's nothing wrong with that as well. He said it might reverse merger. Very well could. Gosh, come on, you froze. I'm choosing something else because somebody was like, "Oh, you should go with this one." So I'm using this free stock charts or whatever like that, just something different. But if it starts to suck, I'll go over to TradingView. I just want to try. Somebody say, "Oh, this would be really good. You should try it." But so far, it's looking it's all right. We'll see how it goes. PLX is up again. PLX is one that we had. I have it here listed as a stock to go long in. As you can see, that chart was, absolutely beautiful chart there on PLX. Here's the day in PLX. I mean, this is a stock that hasn't gone wrong for many days now. I showed you guys, here's the 1 month chart in PLX. This time last month you were talking about a stock that was below 50 cents. Now you had $1.29. You've had pullbacks. You've had opportunities to get in at bottoms. And PLX has just done everything, right. It's pulled back. It's recovered, highs and continued to move on. It doesn't look scary. It doesn't look like a supernova. It looks like a stock that's, doing what growth stocks do. Slowly but surely, getting and building value for shareholders. So PLX is another one that's building really, really nicely on PLX. And it's not something you got to stay in forever, but the chart alone, here's just 1 week. Here's 1 week in PLX. Last week, including today. Here's today, and then here's last week. You could have easily had gone in, came out, would have had some nice profit there too from what is that, 80 to about $80 to about $1. Almost 26 cents gained in a matter of days in PLX. Dino Mark said try TC2000. Yeah, TC2000 is like you actually have to, for whatever reason, I tried to get it within the screen, but it wasn't fitting in the screen. So, GAIL, what's going on, Nathan? Nathan Qualls. GAIL's another one up 5%. I'm trying to figure out if GAIL is finally going to break this situation here that it's been in. If you look at GAIL and look at the daily chart, I want to see this move across the 4 or 8. So I'm going to be watching You know, because this was a this was a false signal here. This is a false signal here we got a week ago on the 6th, where you had a situation where, you know, unfortunately we got faked out on GAIL, and it went bearish after then. So we'll see whether or not, you know, we actually have GAIL, you know, really trying to move after this bearish, you know, momentum for after that's been so long in the stock now, going all the way back into August, or we still continue to see this be a dud. URRE here again on the daily chart. We had a strong day today in URRE. You're now above the 4 and 8 here on the daily. You're above the 4 and 8 on the daily, so this is actually saying this is a good entry right now for this stock here on the 5-minute chart. Let's go 5 minutes. And all right, so late day movement in URRE where you had momentum going into the close now. You had momentum going into the close, closing well above the 4 exponential moving average. Not bad for URRE. That's actually really a good looking chart. So just to start the day already, we've got some really good picks. Some really good picks. And we're still in Nasdaq territory right now. So this is how a broad market advance can really lift all boats. You know that theory where they talk about lifting all boats when the market runs? That's what's happening here, and this is a good thing because this is where you make money, folks. This is where you make some money. 601, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Doing good. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this is John from Florida.
All right, John.
Hey,
what you got for us, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a quick question. Is there a way to tell exactly how high a stock will go before it starts to drop? You know, I'm asking this about penny stocks, of course, because you get in low, and all of a sudden one day it breaks out on you, and you're wondering, you know, should I sell here or should I wait a little longer?
Sure.
And sometimes you wait too long, and then it drops. The bottom drops out on you. So my question is there a way to tell exactly how high a stock will go and when you should get out of that stock?
Sure.
Or take profit.
Yeah, typically, you know, when you pull the chart out and you can see a previous, you know, resistance point. So if the chart's been low for some time and the stock just starts to run, pull the chart out a little bit on a different time frame, either be monthly, yearly, and look for a previous resistance point that may be slightly just above where you are. That could be, you know, an area where the stock could have trouble breaking. And if it breaks it, then, you know, of course you continue to stay in because that you know, verifies the momentum and the bullish sentiment. But if not, and you see it, you know, start pulling back, then you know that you know, buyers are in agreement that level is a bit too high for the stock and you might want to get out. But you know, that only again works with stocks that have been above that level. When you're talking about a penny stock that's way past where it hasn't ever been before, there's no way to tell, unfortunately. No way to tell, unfortunately. You can always use declining volume as an indicator, but other than that, you know, if the stock's been, you know, higher, then you use previous you know, resistance points.
Okay, all right. And one more question. Exactly how important is volume in determining whether or not a stock will do well or not? Because it was one stock that I saw somebody bring up in the chat room that I've also been looking at. It's at 0001 right now. I think it is, hold on a second. VP Vaco, I think that's the name of it. Vaco. And it's right now at 0001 is what it said. I don't know the exact ticker, but I think it's called Vaco.
Yeah,
and
VPCO. Yeah, I mean, a stock like this, yeah, only volume. I mean, volume is what dictates whether or not a stock will go higher or go lower. I mean, if the volume is bullish, and I mean, see, if the buyers are bullish and money's flowing into the stock, demand, starts to increase, buyers start to increase the prices that they demand for the stock. So that will causes the stock to go up. As of right now, the stock is trading at 000 nothing because nobody wants it. And until demand starts increasing, where volume comes into play, then the stock will go up. Until then, it's not going anywhere.
Okay. All right. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, until that's just kind of how it is. Volume is everything. Volume is everything. No volume, no movement. Exactly, Dino Mars. It's the engine of any stock, man. Volume is the engine. If people don't want your shit, then prices can't maintain, and real money isn't sure they're getting good value, and they won't buy. They won't buy. What's going on, Bad Scientist? Yeah, Seadrill. Seadrill was on our watch list last week, and Seadrill, I kind of expected a little bit more out of Seadrill. If you guys remember, we had a really great episode last week, Friday, with Bad Scientist, man. He really broke down the game. If you haven't seen that one, you gotta pay attention to it. And I thought Seadrill would do a little bit more, but I'm still happy with it. I'm still happy with it because we continued to have, verification that we're going in the right direction. Here we have three, bars here showing that we're going in the right direction. We're above the 4 and the 8 exponential moving average. We're heading towards that 20-day moving average. Will we get there? I don't know, but we're heading in that direction, and that's all fine with me. That's all fine with me. Starting at what, if we can say we started at $1.73. We're at $1.95 right now, and things are looking really good for Seadrill. Things are looking really good for Seadrill, and the momentum, as you saw, 3 bars there. So going back to the 8th, where you saw the beginning of this trend, starting at a low, possible low of $1.66. Let's see the 7th. So it doesn't look too bad. You got $1.93 right now. So Seadrill slowly but surely heading higher. And I think you can't complain here. So not the kind of intraday gains you want to see, but definitely the stock is rising. And again, we're in that situation where a lot of these small companies are being risen by the overall market. But that whole, rising all boats kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to say that over and over again because it's so true. It's so true. Yeah, we saw Dries, and again, we talked a little bit about Dries. Dries coming out of nowhere with these gains today after, some slow, kind of slow days. 8, 9, and a 10th were relatively, nothing much going on for Dries. So for Dries to move very aggressively today kind of caught some people off guard, but the market responded relatively quick. That volume showed up out of nowhere towards the mid-afternoon, kind of dried up towards after 2 o'clock, but strong close though. Strong close. What did that bar end up in Dries? Okay, so interesting. All right. Here we hear the pullbacks here. Those pullbacks here, as you said, the 8, 9, and 10. Actually, no, 7, 8, 9, and then here's the 10th. We had a small gain. Okay, so Dries looking to do something here. All right, pay attention to Dries. Dries is on our list, so we're gonna see what's going on with Dries. We're gonna see what's going on with Dries, but interesting day in Dries to say the least. Caught a lot of people off guard there. But again, in RNN, going back to someone that said that, I'll put that in the Discord room. All right. What else you guys got here? Yeah, we talked about MYSZ from $4. Yeah, that would have been a huge move for somebody, MYSZ, if you would have dropped in a grand or so. Those are the kind of moves you'd love to see. Mag, you said RNN going to increase the number of shares of stock from 17 to 34 million. All right, earnings season. Yeah, but Dries posted earnings, Lee Yu, and they were not good. They were not good at all. GLBS, another shipping stock, GLBS, one to watch. Sometimes it's a pity play for a lot of those individuals who like Dries, but for some reason kind of feel left out. SINO is another one. SINO had an insane day today. SINO had an insane day today as well. And shout out to everybody who was in SINO, man. I saw that one. That one was just, it just got away from me, you know. It just got away from me. Here's another one where it would have been a very beautiful, look at that beautiful breakout right there. That would have been, look at that, man. Look at that. You buy this breakout in the morning. This came at around 10:15, 10:30. What was that exactly? 10:25. Yeah, 10:25. You know, and you would have bought that. You know, don't of course buy that morning spike. Wait for the pullback. If it breaks through in the morning, you buy the breakout. And sure enough, that would have been it would have been a beautiful day for you. Would have been a beautiful day for you. But you know, in the morning, you got to do your scans because that's where you find stocks that open up this aggressively. You see where the line opened up at is where, you know, where the stock opened up at 275. You only would have seen this in the scan if you would have did a really good scan. So if you're not scanning in the morning, you're not seeing these stocks that are up, so you're not pulling these charts and you're missing out. You can't just start your day and just, you know, guessing a bunch of tickers. You've got to have a scan. You guys know here I use Equity Feed. You can use your broker probably has a scan, TD, E-Trade, whatever the hell you're using. There's probably no doubt in their mind, in my mind, that they have some kind of scan feature that is live and hopefully is able to, you know, pinpoint those stocks that are moving higher for you. Took a scalping loss in SINO, but bought Dries on a dip. Okay. Freed up 24%. Let me see here. Here's Freed. I'd like to see a little bit more volume. I see a couple, you know, not let me see here. Not the greatest of not the prettiest chart in the world on Freed, to say the least. All right, not the prettiest chart in the world, but you know, it is what it is. You know, with the whole market running like this, it's important not to make stupid decisions because you don't want to, you know, bet on something that could be a maybe when there's so many sure things running or somewhat sure things, you know. And when I say somewhat sure things, I mean a sure thing is 100%, a someone is like 90%. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many somewhat sure things running. There's really no reason to bet on stocks that are like, maybe this could do something. You know, by all means, if you see a stock that's in the sweet spot that I love, you know, and you're willing to be patient on it, by all means sit on it. But don't miss out on these stocks that are just, you know, running crazy right now. Like if we just showed you SINO and Dries and CERU. There's so many penny stocks out here, you know, you can, that are a little bit more expensive. You get 30, 40, 50, 70 cents, $1, $2, you know, but get something instead of just, you know, buying these small, you know, doubles or triples that aren't getting you anything. You know, you're waiting 20, 30 days when you can be getting something right now. PPHM, 2% gain on PPHM. Now, what's the expectation on PPHM? I mean, what for those of you guys who are trading PPHM, what are you expecting out of it? Here's the daily chart, and the daily looks really nice. I mean, this is the daily chart. You've had multiple, you know, nice little days here, but as you can see here from February until now, you've only gained 7 cents. You've gained only 7 cents a share. So I mean, what are you guys? You know, because I saw this earlier today, and I just thought it was so slow. It's so damn slow. Well, you know, what are you guys seeing this? And be very careful there because you're getting to that high right here too, by the way. You're getting a little closer to this. You broke out of that 36-cent resistance here. That showed up back in January, but now you got to look at December here. You got that high of 40 that you're targeting. So hopefully, if you're in PPHM, watch that. Watch that. KBSF is another one. KBSF, man. We really liked this one last, Friday, or this just past Friday. Bad Scientist, if you're still watching, strong pullback today in the stock. Almost $1 of value just taken away. Is this up? Is it game over for KBSF? We're still very high above the 4 and 8 here on the daily chart. We're still relatively high on the 4 and 8. The market today for the stock looked like this. You had a really strong move higher. You actually at one point up almost another $5, $6 in the stock, but when it broke again, that 4 and 8 exponential moving average got broken. Then you went beneath the 20-day moving average, and it was a wrap for KBSF after that. What's going on, Monk Man? Yeah, DeMario, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, that Friday episode, man, was the truth. That Friday episode was the truth. So now it's a situation where now we're going through charts. People know what they gotta look for. All right, KBSF, still high again on the daily chart, but we got some suckers up here at $15, $16 a share. I can't promise you're gonna get that money back, fam. And I'm telling you right now, if we're down tomorrow, the stock already moved quite aggressively here. We took off at $4. We took off at about $4 in KBSF, and that was on the 10th. That was just on the 10th. So we really only had like 2 trading days in KBSF. So if we crack below 7 tomorrow, if you're high up there in the 15, 16 range, you might as well sell. Because I would hate for you to be a back holder, with $16 value stocks, and now we're looking at going back into the 5s and the 4s. Don't be that guy. When it's time to sell, sell. THLD 3% today. Okay. February's been all right for THLD. What's that daily chart? You guys know the daily chart is everything now. 919 Bad Scientist, what's good, man?
Hey, Sal, how you doing?
Oh, doing good. Oh, but your phone sounds horrible right now, man. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, let me try call you back. It's bad on this end as well. I'll call you back just now.
All right, yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, he sounded like a cancer patient right there. I don't know what that was about. All right, let me see here. THLD setting up pretty nice from last week here. Setting up pretty nice. You're above that 4 and 8, man. That's what you want to see. Bad Scientist, you there?
Much better.
Yes, definitely. So
there were funny powers that be fiddling with the lines there.
I know, right, man? Appreciate you having you on again, man. And I'm sure you saw some things you want to bring to the people.
Yeah, I saw you talking about KBSF.
Yes.
I was just looking at that right now. So, yeah, I mean, KBSF, you're right. It's still in play. I mean, on the daily chart, it's well above the 4 exponential moving average. It's well above the 8. Compared to yesterday's volume, which was at about 4 million, today was a red day.
Yeah.
For less than half of that, so 1.9 million. So that I would define as a pullback.
Yeah.
That's not anything to worry about at all, because we've seen that even with AUPH. Just another candlestick pattern that people should look for to start getting worried about a bearish reversal.
Okay.
So you notice how on the daily chart right now, the red candle is only, I don't know, maybe 1/6 of the way down the candle of the previous day.
Yes.
So it's not seriously, if that red candle had gotten anywhere near the middle of yesterday's candle, that's called a bearish piercing signal. It's also called a dark cloud cover. If that red candle had gotten to about half of yesterday's green candle, then I think you need to start worrying about, tomorrow and looking for, a downtrend going into tomorrow. But this looks like a pullback to me, unless, like you said earlier, unless it closes below the 4 and or 8 exponential moving average.
Okay.
So looking at it now, it looks like the 8 exponential is right around $6. So and that's a big move.
Yeah,
I mean, it closed. The problem now with stocks that move like this is your risk management, because you look at where it closed right now, $9.80. The 8 exponential moving average is at $6. So this is where, like, if you want, your 3-to-1 reward risk ratio, you're just gonna have to play this one very carefully, because I mean, if you do the math on that drop, that's a huge percentage to risk. To stay in.
It was interesting because, I mean, for the most part, because I know there's some people who are saying, well, I mean, you were up until the last hour of the day. So, I mean, the selling came pretty late. I mean, you lost about $3 up until about 3 o'clock. So, there are some people who can say, well, maybe it was just somebody who was in very early deciding to take profits, and some people went with them. So is this really a pullback, or was this by circumstance, could have been a green day, but they just lost it toward the end?
Yeah, a little bit of selling off like in the last hour, but it's nothing to worry about, to be honest. And we've seen plays like this where it goes on, 2, 3, 4 days. So who knows? I mean, it could come crashing down all of a sudden tomorrow. But based on what the volume is today relative to yesterday's volume, the way it is right now, it just looks like a pullback. When it starts touching that, let's say, okay, this is a good support level, if you may. If it starts touching that upper Bollinger Band again, which is near about $8.45, I would say that if it breaks down below that upper Bollinger Band and starts caressing the 4 exponential, then I would start to worry. But I mean, like you always do, it just put it on the 5-minute chart, look at your candlesticks, and read the charts. I mean, you and I, we like to use the 4 and 8 exponential, and the good thing about that is you just follow the rules. Don't try and second guess. If it's coming through the 4 exponential or 8 exponential, or in your case, you play the crossovers as well. So if the 4 exponential crosses below the 8, then start to worry. On the 5-minute, I didn't see that. Okay, actually on the 5-minute, it is below the 8 exponential, but that's only on the 5-minute chart. On the daily chart, though, it's still very far.
It's still above.
So time frame, like I said on Friday, depending on what time frame you're dealing with. So if you're a day trader, right now you'd be short in the stock, or should be short if you went in like towards the end of the day, until you see the next 5-minute candle closing above the 8 exponential. So so this one's going to be very interesting to watch, but people need to be very careful careful about it. Because where are we on RSI on this one?
Right now we're pretty low on the RSI, actually 26, so we're about 26.
Okay, but that's on the 5 minute.
Yeah, that's on the 5 minute.
On the daily, we're just shy of 80.
Yeah, on 80. So yeah, we're still pretty hot on the daily. That's right.
Okay, yeah. So it's really important to everyone on this show, like what time frame you're trading in, because if you're wanting to scalp or make your money in the same day, get in, get out, and you're using a 5 minute. Some people like to use even the 1 hour or the half hour. I think we're all should be even on the half hour. I think, we're short even on the half hour. So it looks like in the last half hour, that's when it crossed both the 4 and the 8, and it looks like that's when the big sell-off happened in the last half hour. But yeah, I'm not really. I guess there's so many, like you said, a rising tide raises all boats. Everything went up today. In fact, part of me prefers when you only get a select few stocks, because, like you said, your brain, you become scatterbrained, and there's so many, percentage gainers that you just don't know where to start. And that's why it's always important to define yourself as, specifically how do you trade, and pick only, like you said, the best plays where your percent probability is highest, instead of just going willy-nilly into anything because it's up.
Sure.
Find what you're good at, stick to it, and look for the best setups.
Yeah.
So I made a little bit of money today. I made like 30% on QTMM, OTC play, but pretty happy about that. But it took long enough, because I got into it actually a while back, maybe early last week, because it looked like it was gonna break, and then it didn't really do much until Friday, and then I just stuck in until today, was able to get my 30% gain. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that's good. QTMM, nice move there on that stock. And now looking at the daily, it looks like it still looks relatively nice sitting up at that high. Do you still like it for a continued move, or are you looking to see this as possibly a wrap for this one?
Well, it is nearly at 80 for RSI, so I don't know, because today we all have to be careful here. Like you said, everything was up today. So if the market decides to come down for whatever reason tomorrow, everything could come crashing down.
Sure.
So so this one was good. I mean, you saw even with AUPH. Remember, like, how it was resisting that $3.55 mark, and it actually breached that bullishly today. I think after hours it's even as high as 380 something.
Now, what stock are you talking about?
Sorry, AUPH.
AUPH, okay.
So Treasure Hunter called earlier about that, and I've had my love-hate relationship with AUPH, but today, since everything was up. And I mean, this is where like I said, you have to be really, really careful, because when everything is up, there's not necessarily any news pointing towards why the stock is up. It's just the market is up, so everything goes up.
Yeah.
And one technical that I forgot to cover on Friday is the beta value. The beta value is a measure of volatility. So if you go to any statistical, where they do statistical analysis of a stock. So I think last week we were on Yahoo Finance and looking at the, what's that section called, statistics. The beta value is normally in there. And so even with today's move or previous days' moves, if you look at something like KBSF, it's not typically a volatile stock. I think it's even listed in Yahoo Finance. The beta is really really low. Okay, so in a nutshell, the beta is a measure of volatility, and what it uses as a standard is the general market itself. So it could be the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, so the general market, and that's given an arbitrary value of 1. So if your beta value is something like a 1.5, that means that stock is 50% more volatile than the market. So, for instance, if the market is up by, let's say the market is up by 1%, then your stock will go up by 1.5% because it's 50 times more volatile. An easier number is beta of 2. That means it's twice as volatile as the stock. So of the market. So if the market goes down 2%, your stock will likely go down 2 times that. So 2% versus 1%. And so this is good to also tie in with a low float stock because volatility and the size of the float often go hand in hand. Not always the case because you do get some stocks. I mean, look at right now because KBSF really hasn't been moving. But if you look at Yahoo Finance, the beta is 0.05, which is really, really low.
Right.
But that's not an indication of what's been happening over the last week. So you really have to, because I think these beta values, if I'm not mistaken, they're taken over the entire year of that stock. It might be 6 months. I think it's a year.
Yeah, I think so too because it would have definitely updated by, with the information that was input, especially on Friday and Thursday in the stock. So that must mean that they still are looking at data across a very large time frame for it to be that low still in that stock.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just beta is another technical indicator that you can use to assess volatility. In FinViz, remember when we went in there and used screens, someone on the show actually mentioned that FinViz had it, has the beta value. You can actually sort your stocks by beta value. So for people like us who want stocks that move a lot, for all of us go into penny stocks, you can sort based on all the stocks that gained, and you can sort by beta value in decreasing order. So you always have, for me it would be stocks lower than $5, and then I can just rearrange it based on beta to find which stocks are the most volatile based on beta value. So it's another parameter you can use. It's not absolutely necessary, but sometimes, I mean, have you ever been in a stock, or has anyone on the show been in a stock where you're like, this is supposed to move, and it doesn't move, and then you ask, why isn't this stock moving? I mean, it moves a little bit, but then doesn't move as another stock would, and sometimes that's tied into the volatility of the stock. If it's not a volatile stock, it tends to move a lot slower.
Yeah.
And once again, like I said, that ties in with the float, and also maybe even the market cap of the stocks, because we all know as the stocks get more expensive, they move less. So there's a wide range of things that play into whether a stock moves or not. But today, everything was up, like you said.
Yeah.
So even the non-penny stocks were up.
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't have anything really right now that I'm looking at. If people want to throw a couple of stocks at me, we can do that. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about KBSF and the beta value that I forgot to mention on Friday.
Okay. Let me look at, let me see here. Ricky Lindo, BAYP. BAYP's first out of the gate. Okay, so this is a triple, not really doing,
All right. So
Is this Bayport International?
yeah, Bayport International. So it looks like it just kind of needs some. This is kind of one of those things where you gotta kind of have to sit on it for a while because it's not really doing.
Yeah, this one's not. Yeah, the volume is. The last week, the volume has been a bit sketchy.
Yeah, look at the volume, guys, on that one. I mean, you actually have declining volume in the stock over the course of February, and so it's I don't know on that one.
And there is actually a bearish expansion on this. So the Bollinger Bands are expanding, but on the downside.
On the downside.
And the four exponential is below the 8. This is short until you see that 4 creeping over, crossing over the 8.
Let's see here.
What's the other one? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no problem. I'm looking for one here. ICNB, Iconic Brands. Now, this one I've actually kind of liked this one just because it pulled back, but it's found some momentum here even after a couple of days of
This one's nice. Three phases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first phase was down, I guess, towards the end of December was phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
That lasted until about the early January. Then it consolidated, started phase 2, and came down, consolidated. So, wow, this is 3 phases, continuous phases. This is long all the way. All the trend lines are saying stay in this one.
Now, does that doji pattern that doji signal at the last day today's action, does that bother you at all, or does that continue?
Yes, dojis are always, you should always worry about dojis. If they happen at the bottom of the chart, that's normally a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
At the top, yes, you may still need to worry about this one. But, I mean, I think the downside is not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the 4 exponential is at about 0.289, and then the 8 is at 0.270. So not too bad, but you're right. A doji like this one, and I think we're at RSI 71. Maybe not that bad, but, you need to pay attention to those dojis. Because when you start getting indecision and sellers and buyers on there's no clear winner there, you have to start worrying, especially with this stock that's been running since the end of December.
Right. All right, let's go to Mr. Dupree's ALIM at 119. 119. So that one's sitting just above the 4 and 8. Another doji. It's kind of a fatter doji, but it's up there still. What do you think about this one?
This one looks okay. So looking at the good thing with this analysis that we're doing, we can look at it at so many perspectives. So let's talk about the good thing first. So this stock is neither overbought nor oversold. So RSI is about 53. That's fine. That's decent. So that's good. The last 2 days before today, it actually was in an uptrend. You notice the doji at the bottom there. I think on the 8th, 1 to 3 days ago. And once again, you have your classic doji Morningstar. So you have your red long candle with the doji that's sandwiched, doji sandwiched between a red candle and a green candle.
Right.
And that at least started the short-term trend upwards. So that's good. Yesterday was another green day for it. Notice from the doji day, the volume did increase. So first day of the doji, we're looking at about 3.4, 336,000. Next day was 436. Yesterday was 542. So that's good. Today's volume was more than yesterday's, but it was kind of a red day.
Yeah.
Opened at yesterday's close and then closed lower. So yeah, at this point, we can only say it's definitely, it looks like the Bollinger Bands are coming together.
Right.
That's a sign that it might be in consolidation mode, because when you see the Bollinger Bands kind of thinning and starting to get narrower and constricting, that's a sign that we have consolidation happening there and there's not that much volatility. What we do want to see is if it is going up, is we do want to see it break that upper Bollinger Band at about $1.21. If it can break that, then it looks like the continuation pattern will be in play, and today would have just merely been a pullback. So let's, this one's tough to say. It's definitely looking good from the standpoint of the 4 and 8 exponential moving average, but yeah, this one you just need to see tomorrow what it's going to do. And just keep in mind your 4 exponential moving average is at about $1.18, and your 8 exponential is at about $1.17 and some change. So, you're 2 cents away from that bottom 8 exponential moving average. So this one just traded cautiously, but as long as it's above that 8, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is one of our oldies here. Well, now oldies, because after we talk about you for a week, you become an oldie around here. So PULM, okay. still hanging over there, but it looks like it could be going bearish now.
Yeah.
Although it's still pretty wide on the bands, though. It's still pretty wide on the bands, but just the fact that the 4 and 8, it's getting closer.
Yeah. The 4 and the 8 are getting closer. This is where, if depending on your risk, if you have like a higher tolerance for risk, you would actually start going short here, because it looked like yesterday it virtually closed on the 4 exponential moving average. Mm-hmm. And once again, everyone, the 8, in my experience, is the more important one, but the 4 is good in that it catches moves earlier. So if you have a higher tolerance for risk, you can start actually making your move even before that 4 comes round to start crossing over the 8. So notice yesterday it closed right on the 4 exponential moving average, and then today it opened at the 4 exponential and closed right on the 8 exponential. So going into tomorrow, if you see it going below that $4.34 mark, that's a short, and because you'll be below the 8 exponential moving average. Even though you're still in the bullish expansion phase of those Bollinger Bands, because remember, those Bollinger Bands, the middle band is a 20-day simple moving average, and these two are 4 and 8 exponential. So these exponential moving averages will catch those moves a lot quicker. The 20 is only going to respond, if tomorrow is a really, really bad day, you'll start seeing that 20 kind of top off, kind of like what you can see on the 4 exponential yesterday and the day prior to that, the way it rounds off to say basically you've reached the top of the mountain and then it starts rolling back down. So the 20, according to the 20, the trend is still up. So if that trend starts topping out, then you know that in the long term this thing is going down. But in the short term, if the price starts going below that $4.34 mark, then that's a short all the way.
All right. So yeah, PULM pretty much been bearish since the 9th. So it's only been 2 days, but not bad on that. Not bad on that.
Yeah, and RSI is not bad. It's right around 62, 63, so that's fine.
Okay. Let's see on that one. What's next for us here? And we want to start breezing through these. Bad Scientist, ACUR. No, so ACUR, yeah, that's one that we've talked about. That was on our list last week. Not bad for ACUR today, just 2% gain, but we're momentum. We're still hanging on that 8 exponential moving average, and the 4 is still above it.
Notice again, Sal, there's that doji again, sandwiched between a red candle and a green candle. It's almost like when you see a doji and then it goes, and the next candle after that doji is green, you should go for it. But anyway, yeah, to make this quick, looks good. Volume is increasing. From that doji, we started off at, 1.6 million yesterday, 2.1 million today. We're at 2.6, 2.7 million. Increasing volume. Our RSI is still good at 65.
Yeah.
This is, and there's a huge gap between the 4 and 8 exponential moving average. So this looks good. Looks like the trend is still going up, and only start worrying if it comes down to about 95 cents. That's when I'd start worrying. But looks good.
Appreciate it. What's going on, David? I see David from Investors Hangout in the building. As I said earlier, definitely join the Investors Hangout if you're into those OTCs and other stocks as well. They got it all for you over there at Investors Hangout. Let me see here. Now, ACUR, interesting, because that's 2 days in a row. We don't get that a lot around here. So 2 days in a row, ACUR is on our stock to watch list. Benny Lai, AQSM. AQSM. Yeah. Well, let me see. AQ, is that AQSM? I'm not getting it. I don't see anything. I don't know what Benny Lai was talking about there. I don't see anything there. Bruce Cole, UAMM. I know that's legit. UAMM. This is, what is that? 00 stock. This one very, very bearish. In fact, you've actually you've broken the 20-day moving average. This is probably going a lot lower. Right.
Yeah, this is bearish from all aspects, and even the volume tells you how bearish it is.
Yeah.
If you look at prior candles, they're not even that high. We're talking about something that's 11, close to 12 million, breached bearishly both the 4 and the 8 exponential and the 20, like you mentioned. Yeah, this one's going down.
Now this one, IDXG. I like this one because it has been a spiker in the past. In fact, if you pull up the 3-month chart, you see what it did back in December, because I do remember talking about this stock. Yeah. I think it may have ran earlier. Okay, yeah, we had some in the summer too as well when IDXG was on our list. But the huge move was in it was in December. So now it went bearish for some time. All of a sudden here, I do see here 2, pretty good days, which was Friday and today in IDXG. Could this be the beginning of another possible run in the stock?
Absolutely. I mean, it looks like an early run.
Yeah.
Today it crossed over the 4 exponential. What we want to see it do tomorrow, if it can get to about 324 and hold that would be great. Once again, with increasing volume, but this is looking good.
Yeah, and I love how it's setting up, because it's also setting up to almost like the way it did in December. Now today's candle isn't as big, but you had again another where we had one kind of slow day, and then the next day was bigger than the day before, and then a huge gap up move.
Yep. And IDXG, I'm just looking up the average volume. Just briefly, just to see, average volume is, this is well below the average 3-month volume is 5.3 million, so it definitely needs a bit more volume, but I think that will be achieved. I think tomorrow we might see it move a bit more, and if it gets close or above that 324 mark, that will be good.
Yeah, and I like it as a low risk trade here. Significantly below its run back in December. So IDXG.
Oh yeah, I mean, RSI at 39. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, right. Low RSI, building volume.
I think it looks really good on this part. Now this is the stock we talked about last week, BIOS. BIOS, it looks like we got, the doji on Friday and then bearish confirmation today. Do you agree with me on that one?
Okay, so just say that again. Is it B or V?
B as in boy, IOS.
Oh, BIOS. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this one on the daily chart. Okay. So this one's FE.
Yeah.
This one looks like, so it closed right on the 8, and like the other one we analyzed a couple of stocks back. If it breaks below 161, I'd be short in this one, because it looks like it topped out. Notice on the 3rd of February, that's when you had the high candle there. The next day you have at the top of the chart you had your this is a bearish harami, so pregnant woman. This is bearish at the top,
yeah.
And you see from the 6th of February it just slowly started coming down.
Yeah.
But it could, arguably it could just be consolidation at this point. But tomorrow will be the sign. If it breaks down below the 161 mark, then yeah, it's coming down. And your caller, there's a caller that that asked earlier, like how much do you know it's gonna gain, or how much do you know it's gonna drop? Typically with these stocks, your answer was definitely correct, like looking at the resistance and looking for the next highest. This one, notice it started when it started its run on the 30th of January. It was at about $1.33.
Mm-hmm.
So assuming if this one's coming down, you would expect a similar magnitude, because when you see the candle from the 6th of February, after that big green candle where it starts crossing below the upper Bollinger Band, it is coming from about 179. So if it goes all the way down, you would definitely expect it to hit that support at the bottom, around about 133. But that's if it's going to use that for support. Tomorrow it may just bounce off this 8 exponential and go back up, or it could retest the middle Bollinger Band and stay around there. There's no way of telling, but for us who use the 8 exponential, if it breaks down below there, you're short.
All right, so investors in BIOS already down 20% or 20 cents, a share since last week. So BIOS looking to try to maintain there. I think David said the possible bounce. We'll look to see that, David. We'll look to see that. MGTK or MJTK OTC stock. Let me see here, trading at a penny a share, broken out of the doubles here now, putting on a penny. And nice move, by the way, in the stock here too. Looks like it was a double six.
This looks pretty good actually. I love the way the volume is increasing from 4 days ago. From is that 14 million? Wow.
Nice, man. This is this is insane. Putting up almost 54 million. Am I reading that right? 54 million
correct.
shares traded today alone. That's a huge move for the stock.
And the stepwise increase in volume, that's also good. So I wouldn't be surprised if this broke 12 what's this 0.12, because that's the roundabout where the upper Bollinger Band is. And it looks like on the upside it could get to maybe the 134 mark, because it's at 97 right now.
Okay. Yeah.
This one's definitely looking good, and it looks like the bullish expansion started a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
And more so today. Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, I would definitely take heed of those prices back in December, because you do have some walls ahead of you here, just above you. You got some resistance up there, but a good day tomorrow. If you break through that, then the sky's the limit. I think after that, then you're looking at mid ones, 0.014, 105. not bad. So yeah, tomorrow you got to break .011. I think you can do that, though. I think you can do that, and we'll see. MJTK could be maybe a triple gainer for some people tomorrow. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
All right, and I think we had Ryan gets it with BLTA. BLTA, he's looking to hold it for 90 days. BLTA. This is a stock that looks like it's all right. So it's been funneling a little bit. It's
wow. Is this a 000?
I want to say it's a 00.
Oh, 00. Okay, if you're not the 00 after the decimal point.
Yeah, I think BLTA.
Okay, 00.
Now, just to start off, I don't like the fact that right now it's SEC delinquent, so you've got some risk there holding this stock.
Okay.
You could get halted on that one. I just don't like trading stocks that are delinquent on filings, but this is something that hopefully find out if they're working on getting that paperwork in or not. But right now you're trending at 002. You've been doing that now since January 3rd.
Yep, you can see the Bollinger Bands. It's been consolidating for quite some time now.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got support there. So, you can say now over 30 days, it's a pretty low-risk trade. So you just hope that, the large investors stay in and, you hopefully get more volume, or maybe some news can drop that start bringing some more volume in that's going to move this higher.
And you see there is a risk, though, because if you look at the doji back at the 6th of December, when it did start its uptrend, 6th of December, where that doji is, that's the potential downside where it could come down to. I see support at 0008. So the risk is you could lose quite a lot of your money here, half of your money.
All right. Yep.
If it breaks down, your risk could exactly be 50% here.
Okay.
Thereabouts. Yeah. It just has to. If it's gonna stay within those Bollinger Bands, fine. But if it does start coming down, that's where it's gonna hit that support, probably at 0008. Yeah.
All right. So a couple more here. And Bad Scientist, do you have some time for us, or you got to run? Or,
always.
Okay.
Yeah, always.
Okay.
I mean, I'm working from home this week, so more than likely I'll be able to call in.
Good.
A few times.
Yeah, we'll because I will definitely get with you so we can even go through and get even faster at doing this together. TGB.
Okay.
TGB. I didn't want to say it was a Trump stock, but it's moving that way. Since November, it has been doing some things, and I like it because it has had pullbacks. It's not a supernova stock, and has been slowly gaining volume for its value for its investors. Now at $1.59, I think that's the largest gap up that I had seen in the stock. And huge volume now crossing the 2 million volume mark, I think, for the first time since December. Since December, and I think one day back in January as well. Tico Mines, TGB, and now sitting just above the Bollinger Bands there.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's a bullish expansion on top of an already bullish expansion from way back in November. It looks like it's been going up since November. So, this is where RSI probably goes out the window, even though it's still at a safe RSI 73, 74, but the trend still says it's going up. Notice the multiple phases there where it looks like it's threatening for a reversal, but all you get is the 4 and 8 converging, then the 4 busts out ahead to start a new phase. So looks like this thing just stepwise every day, just putting in higher highs, higher lows. It probably has a very nice weekly chart as well. Yeah, weekly looks good.
Oh,
it's
man.
Just skating on that upper Bollinger Band.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I mean, this is a stock that started at 45 cents and you're well up
Wow.
over 300% in a couple months. I mean, this is absolutely insane. TGB. Take over
This is
minds.
good.
Yeah, I mean, look, ladies.
Wish I'd gotten this one early.
I mean, you just can't help but enjoy this bull market,
Yeah.
Bats. I mean, look,
Yeah.
I don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, this time, 7 months from now, we might be seeing them all start crashing, but then that's when we're going to all have to learn how to short and call and buy puts. But until then,
Yep.
let's all
Yep.
enjoy these gains that we're getting on the long side. All right. With that being said, what's up, Q DeMayo? WRN. Western Copper.
I
and
know
Gold.
that one.
Now I don't like the fact that today was volume was relatively low today, although the stock was still still moved higher barely, but it still put on some gains today.
Yeah, the way the volume just died down today,
Yeah.
people are losing interest in this one. Yeah. But, I mean, we're still good on the trend, both short-term with the 4 and 8 exponential. That looks good, but you're right. I mean, the volume, yesterday's volume, 2.9 million. Today's volume is only 513,000. That's a huge, a huge drop in volume. It just shows that today people weren't focusing on that. Yeah.
So hopefully that was just a little blimp on that stock's growth, but I'd still watch it. I mean, $1.65, but that definitely a little bit of a warning to take heed if you're looking at that Q mile WRN on that one. Let me see. I think we talked about PLX. PLX is again, that's a stock been doing so well, slowly but surely working its way up. That's another stock started off way back in December at about 30 cents a share. Now you're looking at $1.30. So that's another stock you're up, almost what 400% on since December 5th. You're up almost 400% in PLX. Man, just absolutely beautiful chart. That's been just sitting right, just like you love, Bad Scientists, just right above that 4 and 8. And for the most part, it never broke the 8 since December. I don't see a strong breakthrough then.
That's correct. Yeah, it's been above that for since December.
And
growing
growing volume since last week as well. Since toward the end of last week, it had a couple of days where it pulled back here. I see the 7th and 8th were down volume days, but overall PLX. I think PLX though, even if tomorrow comes in at 15 million shares, I think you'd still be.
This is still in play. I mean that stepwise last 3 days stepwise volume increase 6.6 million, 6.5, and today's 20 million.
Now I got to ask you something, Dope Bad Scientist. I mean the RSI is hot on this. I mean it's been well over 80 for the last month and a half. Now we do know that RSI typically will stay above 80 when we are in a very bullish momentum. So does the RSI at all bother you, the fact that it's been up here for this long, or do you just kind of go for the ride as long as it stays up here?
It bothers me personally, but this is where you ignore RSI because both your 4 and 8 are up and there's no sign that it wants to come down. So I mean, it all depends once again on your risk level, but you look at the chart, you look at the 4 and 8, they're up. There's no threatening of coming down, crossing below that 8 exponential. They've all been pretty much green days. 4 days ago, we had 4 prior days of the stock just staying at the same price. Looks like dojis or spinning tops there for 4 days. But, I mean, other than that, yes, it's above 80, and you should definitely, worry about it, but use other indicators and not just one. And that's why when we're talking, we're using Bollinger Bands, we're using moving averages, we're using RSI, we're using volume. And volume, like what was mentioned earlier, that's always the most critical here. Your volume is going up day by day with green candles. Even though RSI is up, you can't just follow one technical and base everything off. If you use them in combination, probability-wise, you're more likely to to be right when you're using them in combination.
There it is. All right, so PLX still looking very, very strong here. PLX still looking really strong here. JAGXQ, Jaguar Animal Health. Now this is the one that it's so funny because I actually shorted this this stock JAGX just because I believe I have a video where I'm calling this stock a scam. JAGX.
Okay.
It's one I've always believed was a scam. I think they did some kind of buyout, but it was, I don't honestly believe it. But JAGX down. We got some more bearish confirmation today, but only down 1%. So, but the decline in volume is something to pay attention to there.
Yeah, you're right. It always look at volume. I would say, like, if you're not interested in any other indicator, look at volume, because volume tells a lot about the interest on the around that stock. So yeah, you're right. 2 days of crappy volume relative to when it was as high as 16.5 million 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, insane volume on the 9th, and then all of a sudden those new unloyal buyers were out of there and have moved on to bigger and better things. All right.
And notice the day when it was 16.5 million, it closed as a doji. It's kind of like a perfect long-legged doji, and then the next day it started coming down, and doji at the top of a chart, is always something to be wary of.
All right, so hopefully you guys aren't kind of feeling lost there. I did it last week. I'll do it again at the end of today's show, where I put the 12 most important candles to recognize, so you guys can definitely join up on that, so be able to know what the hell we're doing here. For those new people who are looking in the chat room right now, the 12 most important candles to look at. Also, by the way, if you're watching, go ahead and press like if you feel like you're learning something right now. Press like on this video right now. Definitely goes to help out. I appreciate it so much. Press like right now if you can. Thanks a lot. All right, so GIG, GigaPeak Incorporated, huge move for the stock. When I see volume like this, I'm looking for news, but let me see if I can find it here. GIG, because typically when a stock goes from 500,000 shares traded to almost 1.8, you got to think some news came out, and sure enough, yes, some news did come out. GigaPeak reported financial performance for the 4th quarter. Was it good? I don't know. Can somebody let me know about that? And listen, also acquisition as well. Okay. IDT to acquire GigaPeak for $308 a share. All right. So IDT, which goes for Nasdaq ticker IDTI, agreed to purchase Gig today, that they have signed a definite agreement to acquire the company for $3.08 a share, or approximately $250 million in cash. So shout out to the owners of GIG. They're getting a nice little payday there. But the stock is still under that price, $271 right now. So possibly a multiple day run for this, for this stock tomorrow.
Yeah, looks like started the bullish expansion. We're right under the Bollinger Band with strong volume, and RSI is 62. So this thing looks like it could continue going up. It just needs to break that upper Bollinger Band. But yeah, it looks good. But that's also where it stopped with a point of resistance as well. If you look across on the daily, that's actually the resistance right there. So. Yeah, it's looking good.
I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't run even more aggressively. I kind of expected that one to run even more aggressively, because I have seen situations where small cap companies that are bought for even low prices, $3, $4, run beyond those prices intraday when you do have a situation where a larger company comes in let me see, to buy the stock. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that green candlestick is pretty much, if you look across on the daily, you'll see red candles that have that similar size. So at least in the range of that candlestick, that's normal for its big runs. We do have a huge candle at, post post-election 9th of November, that was a huge candle, but it started with a gap down and then came through for a positive day on the 9th of November. But if you look at most of the candlesticks that are red, dating back in October, looking across, today's green candle is actually not that far off when you look at the sizes of the other candles.
Okay. All right. So I did go ahead and post that 12 candles sticks you should know in the Discord room. Also check out the patternsite.com. Another great website, which is free for you to be able to just go ahead and learn so much about candlesticks as well as just overall trading as well. All right. And GIG. You see, I saw somebody had mentioned a question on binary options. I don't support the idea of binary options. I haven't found one legitimate stock or website that hasn't screwed anybody over just yet in binary options. So I don't support that kind of thing at all. EAPH, Eastern Pharmaceuticals, EAPH, pulled back, but now it's crossed the 4 and 8, and we got confirmation today.
Yes, absolutely. You got it, Sal. You can definitely take over from me now. I think you have this down.
Well, almost. I mean, the people love you, so I want to keep you around as long as I can.
You notice again, very good to know your candlestick patterns. Look what you have on the 31st of January and the 1st of February. That's a tweezer top, and that's a bearish signal. Candles of the same size at the top of a chart, green followed by red candle, down day. When you get it reversed at the bottom of a chart where you have a red candle with a green candle, similar sizes, or tweezer bottom, that's normally a reversal, a bullish reversal. So these candlestick, patterns really matter because they're always there, hidden in plain sight.
Not bad. Eastern Pharmaceuticals, a former Nasdaq play that got delisted, but Eastern looks like trying to head up to, I would definitely buy the breakout in this situation here. I mean, this is a 4-cent stock. It's been beat up for some time here. Was delisted, I think, months and months ago now. If we go back and look at, maybe if we go back in time, way back when, it did some things in the past, but yes, EAPH looking really good right now. EAPH, so I would buy the breakout.
It looks like the four is just crossing over the 8. So if tomorrow's a green day, I think you're good to get into this one.
Yeah, 52-week high of 6 cents a share. So I would buy that 52-week high if it does end up breaking that on EAPH. Not bad.
Yep.
Not bad.
Yep.
All right, let's see what else you guys got on here. AFOM, All for One Media. What is the OTC play? I think this is an OTC. Yeah, this is OTC play. All for One Media. Never heard of them.
Can you spell that? AF?
Yeah, AFOM.
Okay.
Never heard for them.
I remember All for One. You remember that group, All for One?
Yeah, so old, like, it was a pop group, right?
Yeah, kind of like a Boys to Men. They try to be like Boys to Men, yeah.
All for One.
Wow, this one is really sparse in terms of the daily chart looks awful, but it's still tradable, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, you had some new volume come in today. This was possibly a pump situation, so I wouldn't jump on this now. We'll see what it does tomorrow. If you have opportunity that it breaks that volume record it's set today for the stock, then you can possibly be looking at Wednesday what's going to happen here. But it clearly looks like it was a pump. So I wouldn't buy into the dump that should happen tomorrow morning on this one.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, so let's go moving on. CVM. CVM.
That was a good move today.
Yeah, this is a very powerful. This is one of the biggest gainers on the market, actually. CVM, 15-cent gain here on this one.
You see that 3-day run, and what started the 3-day run was the bottom the tweezer bottom, red candle on the 8th, followed by green candle, 2 candles similar size, uptrend. This stuff is like, I mean, you learn these signals and you end up picking them just like that. So you see, like 2 days back on the 9th of February, you see that first green candle where it starts the uptrend. Today being the 3rd day, you have that red candle right next to it.
Now
and
this
that starts
now
really the uptrend.
I noticing that this one is the first signal, that signal on the 9th. That's the first one with the wick. What does the wick necessarily tell you as an investor when you see a green candle with a wick? Does that mean that buyers believed that it could go as high as the wick, and that there's a potential it could go that high?
Yeah, so what happens is, especially with an upper wick, this is where the buyers say, no, this looks good, let's buy, and then the bears say, no, it's not good, and the bears win that argument. So that's what causes an upper wick, and this is dangerous at the top of the chart, because this tells you that there's no confidence in that higher price for that day.
So if you see a candle, if you're at a lower or in a funnel situation, but you see a candle with a large wick, that says this has some buyers who are in agreement that this stock could go higher.
Yes.
Okay.
And what matters is where it's occurring in the chart. If it's at the bottom of the chart where you would call it an inverted hammer, that's also a bullish sign that you might see an uptrend. If it's happening at the top of a chart, that's not good.
Yeah.
So if you look at, I think the support on this one was about 11 cents. So, and now it's at, 15 cents and some change. Because it happened at the bottom of the chart, that's fine. But if it happens at the top of the chart, and the upper streak is really, really long. Remember last week I said that was called a shooting star. That's a bad sign.
Okay.
But because it happened at the bottom of the chart and it's the same size of the previous day's candle, which is red, that's a tweezer bottom. Tweezer bottoms tend to be bullish at the bottom of a chart.
Okay. Not bad. Okay. Somebody said, how do you know when to get in these stocks? Well, when they cross the 4 and 8. I mean, that's always been a high probability. It's not 100% perfect, but it gives you a high probability to have a very next day. And what I've noticed is that, by the end of the day, Bats, by like 3:34, about 3:30 for the market's closed, but 3:30, the day's bar has already pretty much been created. So you can almost, it's like like a cheat code by being able, if you look for a stock that you want to get in the next day, by 3:30 you can identify what that bar is for that day and be able to set yourself up for a morning position and maybe even be able to, sell out into even its pre-market momentum or even early morning 9:30 a.m. right out the gate momentum for a nice profit.
Absolutely, and then when you're trading intraday, the VWAP or the volume-weighted average, that gives you an indication of where the fair price is.
Yeah.
Stocks tend to approach the VWAP at the end of the day, so when people are freaking out, wondering if they should get into a stock and they want to swing trade it, use that VWAP as an indicator of whether you're getting a fair price for your stock. If your stock is well above VWAP, and you're wanting to swing trade it maybe into the next day, like Sal said just now, rather wait until like the last hour of the day, the last half an hour. And if you happen to buy it when there's momentum in the last hour, that's even perfect because that means the stock is more likely to gap up tomorrow. Yeah. So you're still going to be in a good spot if you wait until the end of the day.
Yeah, nice, not bad at all. And I think if we go back, let me see, was that MYSZ? Yeah, MYSZ was one that had really strong movement. Let me see if that was the one that I'm thinking about. We had one stock earlier that closed with movement going into the last hour. Was it Dries? Yes, there we go, Dries. So Dries, yeah, Dries is one that, really had, that the end of the day, that nice 4 and 8 crossover towards the end of the day. You saw that at about 3:30, or you should have seen that about 3:30, and you would have been able to take a position. And again, you closed into momentum. If you would have taken a position here in Dries, DRYS, I'm almost pretty sure that tomorrow morning in Dries, you could see yourself getting out maybe 480, 490 in Dries in the morning.
Yeah. And in fact, funny you mentioned that, because that's exactly what it is after hours. It's 489, up 3.16%.
There it is, man. Perfect. Right on the money. Look at that.
Right on the money.
Right on the money. Yep. DRYS. And that's just now. I mean, that's just now at 10:30. There's no doubt in my mind, pre-market, we might see that 490, 495 in the morning. So we're going to have to see if whether or not, after that opens up, will buyers start accepting that higher price, or are we going to pull back and find some momentum to, help us get to that breakout wherever it sets the high at in the morning. All right, and so let's keep it going here. HEB at 50 cents a share. Now this is a stock we've talked about that here and there. Don't know much about this one. 5 days here. This is one that volume just hasn't ever been able to really get it going. It's been quite bearish, for several months now, actually. But on the daily chart, I mean, it's showing a little bit of promise based on what happened today.
Yep, and notice like the one thing we haven't talked about with Bollinger Bands, notice when you get a stock going up aggressively or going down aggressively, they normally skate the upper or lower Bollinger Band. Mm-hmm. Notice how a few days back, maybe 5 days ago, it hits the bottom Bollinger Band, and then you see the price migrating away from the Bollinger Band. So it leaves that lower Bollinger Band, moves across, and then, of course, you get dojis. People are trying to figure it out. The sentiment is indecision for 4 days. Then yesterday you get, I guess you could call this a hammer signal. You're at the bottom of the chart, followed by a very good day today with a volume spike. So because you closed above both a 4 and 8 exponential moving average today, looks like it could continue going up tomorrow. But, would have to see what it looks like with confirmation tomorrow.
There it is, HEB. So, I think if HEB can have another multiple, double-digit day, if we see more volume, we crossed the 1 million share mark in HEB, we can definitely start to see, no doubt another double-digit day for that stock could be around the corner for HEB.
Yeah, absolutely. So always look for that pattern when the price leaves the Bollinger Bands and it starts wandering across and leaves either the upper Bollinger Band or the lower Bollinger Band. That's a sign that something wants to happen, even though, over the last few days looks more like consolidation, but it's far to the right of that lower Bollinger Band. And then, of course, yesterday's hammer signal into today's green day. Looks like it's starting off on a good reversal pattern, and RSI is 37 right now, so it's a good start.
So on now ELTP, I'll let you do this one, Badge. Doesn't look too good. And you've had
ELTP?
ELTP, Elite Pharmaceuticals, trading at 14 cents a share right here. What's your assessment of this one?
This has been bearish since the 23rd of January. The 4 exponential, the price has been below the 4 exponential since, like I said, the 23rd of January. Mm-hmm. We don't see it coming anywhere near to cross the 8, so this has been bearish all the way. Although it looks like we are getting it. One could say we have a price channel there. You can see almost like between 15, there's a nice channel between like say 15 and 16 cents, but of course today it broke under that price channel. So also not a good thing if you were in it, if you are long in this one. But yeah, until we see this coming back through the 8, which is just a few close to 15, if it can break 15 cents on its way towards the middle Bollinger Band at 1562, then you might get interested in it. But looks like this is three red candles right in a row. So yeah, this is bearish all the way until you see signs of a reversal there. Doesn't look like there's one yet.
Yeah, more than enough confirmation of negative momentum there in this particular stock here. So that's going to keep it moving here. Let's see here. INTC, Marika, INTC.
Oh, this is perfect. I love these charts. Three candlestick. This is a doji morning star right there. In a downtrend, noticed 2 days ago, huge red candle going through the lower Bollinger Band, then a doji gap down basically, and then today gap up, and looks like it closed right on the 4 exponential. And this is at the bottom of a chart, typical morning star or doji morning star, which is a bullish. Those 3 candles right there form what's called the morning star. Because yesterday's candles is a doji, they'll call this a doji morning star. So we should expect it to go up tomorrow, to continue to go back up towards that upper Bollinger Band at $38. We are talking about the same stock, right?
Yeah, Intel Corporation. Intel had a really nice run since December, since the beginning of December, but pulled back here multiple days here. That's gotten a high of $38.40, got to a low of almost $4 lost in the stock since the beginning of November, but looking to restore itself here and make the $35.80. So if you're looking to
and like you said, Sal, we're looking for that 4 exponential to cross the 8.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. So until we see that happen, those who have a high tolerance for risk, if it opens above 35.80, you can go in. But really, what you want to see is the 4 crossing over the 8 for a full a full confirmation, or at least closing at or above the 8 exponential at about 36.05-ish, thereabouts.
Okay. Yeah, Intel. Let me see how volume. Okay, so you got some volume in these options. Not incredible volume, but there's definitely volume in the options, and the spreads are actually pretty. The bid-ask spreads are pretty tight, actually, too. I'm seeing only about 2 cents apart, so not bad on that. In fact,
can I bring to the attention of the show, just going back, because my style of trading, I always try and look for bullish reversal patterns, so it's always nice to bring to the attention, to guys' attention, when you see bullish reversal candlestick patterns at the bottom of the chart. So if you look at the 1st of December, you had one really long, can you see that, Sal? On the 1st
I see that
December,
right here.
Very long. Yeah, and that was followed essentially by a green candle within that long red candle. So that's called a bullish harami right there. Harami is pregnant in Japanese. So basically the long red candle there would be the woman, and then the baby inside is that green candle. What happened immediately after that uptrend started? So
uptrend.
you need to look for these, especially at the bottom of a chart. these are very reliable signals that you should be looking for. And similarly, what I mentioned just now with the last 3 days is that morning star where you have long red candle, doji followed by a gap up on a green day. That's a morning star, another bullish reversal pattern. So we should see this one go up as well.
Not bad. And just to let you know, by the way, you gained almost 75% on your money on those 3550 calls, by the way, in Intel.
Wow.
So incredible gain. You had $1,000, you made $750 today on Intel gain. So not bad on that one. All right, so let's get back to these OTCs, or I don't think this is OTC actually. XCO 65 cents a share, energy company. Again, I believe this is a situation where we're all about lifting all boats here, and I think that's why
XCO, you said.
Yes,
Did you say X?
C as in cat, and then O.
Okay.
At 65 cents a share. Now this one really interesting because the RSI on the daily chart is still stupid low.
Yeah, and this one we talked about this one when I was talking about tweezer bottoms. Look at, I think, the 8th of February and the 9th of February. So that was the 4th and 3rd candle from today. So this is actually a failed tweezer bottom that here I would have called that the stock was going to go up, and it did go up, but not substantially, ended up closing where it opened on that green candle. But what you do see here, even though it's a failed bullish tweezer bottom, what you do see are the 4 and 8 exponential moving averages converging. So this still tells you that there's going to be some breakout, whether it's down or up. When you see the 4 and 8s coming together, that's a sign that I would rather say that the break is more likely going to be upwards because you're already at the bottom of the chart, unless, of course, there's some bad news that trumps the current technical pattern. But this looks like once these lines start to converge, I would say the break would be on the upside.
Yeah, this is a stock too that have been bearish for for some time here, multiple months. Would you agree with me that I think it's going to take a huge volume day to really get more people interested in this stock? I mean, less than 900,000 shares traded today as well.
Sitting just below 1 million. Yeah. I mean, there needs to be a lot more volume in this stock. If we go to what is the 3-month average on this? I can look at that right now. Always go and see what the 3 months. I think Yahoo will even put the 3 month as well as the 10-day average. Yeah, so 3 month average is 1.9 million thereabouts. So we're nowhere near. We need at least double the volume that we're seeing right now to the upside for there to be, relatively more interest in this. We just see this thing is kind of, it's consolidating. The good thing is you're at the bottom of the chart, so that's good. Very low RSI at 32, 33. So yeah, I agree. We need more volume here, and we need to see that 4 exponential break across the 8.
Yeah, I'm going to put this on the list to watch because it's setting up interestingly. Very XCO, interesting move here. XCO Resources. This is kind of one of those stocks where it looks like whatever on the stock, but I do see here some history of being able to spike a little bit. It has been bearish for some time. We've seen what companies have done after they've been in those streams.
Sorry, Sal. Related to XCO, I think when I talked about this, I also talked about TCS. If we look at TCS, we'll see a very interesting setup here. So,
and you said
TCS,
the container store.
T as in Tom. Yeah, the storage thing. T as in Tom, C as in cat, S as in Samantha.
Okay.
You see the last 4 days worth of candlesticks. Look at the two pairs that, the first two pairs, red and green candle, that's your tweezer bottom. You actually have two tweezer bottoms in this chart. So it looks like on the fourth day going back, bears pushed the price down, bulls came back and pushed the price up, hence the buck teeth or the two similar sized candle. Then there was yesterday there was a gap up, but it was a red day, and then bulls came back and pushed the price back up where it opened on that red day.
And it's interesting because like they're doing all of this under declining volume, which is really interesting, man.
Yeah. So this is telling me it's supposed to be now reversing and going up, but there's a battle here happening that I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but to have like two tweezer bottoms, one after the other or back to back, this is crazy. Clearly, I guess the bears believe this stock is nonsense, shouldn't go up, but the bulls keep coming back and bringing the price back up where the red day starts.
All right, so Bad Scientist, somebody confirmed, and I'm confirming it here on my end. MYSZ at 13:48 after hours. Can you confirm that as well?
1 second.
MYSZ $13.48 after hours. The float on this must be ridiculously low.
MYSZ after hours. MYSZ. What's the name of the company again?
MYSZ MYSZ Inc.
Okay.
MYS as in Sam, and then Z.
How much is the stock price in this one?
This one is going for, well, right now it closed at $10.97. But after hours, supposedly it's at $13. MYSZ Inc. Mary Yankee.
Trying to find it. Okay.
Mary Yankee Sam Zebra.
Okay, I'll try it on this one. Yeah, because normally I go to Google to get after hours, but let me check here. For some reason, it's giving me some crappy after hours stuff here. Yeah, that's correct. It's 13:48. It's up 22.9%
That's
after hours.
insane. I'm trying to look for what news could be responsible for that. MYSZ, and yeah, the last news I see is back on February the 10th about its signature. Let me see here. The company signed.
This is weird because on Finviz, is it coming up for you? It's not. Was this an OTC stock some time ago? I don't even get it at all on Finviz. It's not showing.
Let me see here.
Must be a glitch, but it's not even coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up as a Nasdaq. It possibly could be a new issue because I don't see much of any history, much of any trading history before this month. And you know, Finviz I know doesn't have everything, especially if it's incredibly light on trading history. But MYSZ, incredible gain after hours right now. You know, this is so fishy. I don't know what's going on with this one, but the last news was an agreement what they had. They were going to expand into Poland, whatever their line of business is.
Wow. Did MYSZ by any chance, was it up in the last hour? Did it go up into momentum as well, like we were talking about?
Yeah, let's find out real quick here on the 5-minute chart. And no, on the 5-minute chart it actually shows that after about 3:30 you actually started seeing some selling off. In the stock. This was the stock that was up
up until that last, up until that last hour, up until that 3 o'clock, where you see it go, across the 20-day moving average and go negative. Up until about the last 5 minutes or so,
But you know what? What's interesting, and once again, towards the end of the day, look where VWAP is. It was so far up with respect to VWAP. It came down, and that's where it is at VWAP. On that 5-minute chart, because it went right up to, where was it, 1620s. Then there was a bearish harami at the top there at about, what time was that? 2:35 is when it started coming down, and VWAP was way at the bottom there at 10:37. So there was at least a $6 difference between VWAP and when it started coming down. So by the end of the day, it's closed virtually. It's slightly below VWAP, but VWAP almost acts as a magnet to bring the stock back down to a fair price. And that's where, like, the bigger players will, maybe what happened, my guess is there's someone who came in at the end of the day to buy the shares, because they waited until it came all the way back down, because it would have been silly to buy it at 16. So they waited until, they bought it at 10, and obviously now it's sitting at a higher after hours price.
Yeah, this looks like somebody came in and said it's pumped by penny picks. So we'll see what's going on with that, penny picks.
Okay.
All right, so we'll do a couple more here. BAA, the Congolese. I don't like BAA at all. I don't know if
it's gold.
Is it? Yeah, it's a gold play. Is it even still? Okay. Barely has any volume at all whatsoever lately. Hasn't done anything for the last couple of days, BAA. Personally, there's just so many problems with the company. I think there's some better gold plays for you out there, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Volume's diminishing. We've got nothing but these horizontal lines with no upper or lower wicks. Basically, people aren't interested in it. People aren't. The buyers and the sellers, I mean, there's just uncertainty. Well, the good thing is, though, it is at the bottom of the chart, RSI 38.39, but yeah, there's no movement here.
Yeah, I'll just keep moving on that one. MJPI, I think we talked about MJPI, if I'm not correct, 80 cents a share, crossing the 4 and 8, so we'll see what
this is beautiful. Yeah, this looks like the very early stages of a bullish reversal. This looks good with increasing volume. Today marked an improvement on the RSI from 36.5 to about 40 where it is right now. So this could be huge, because we're talking about to the upside. Right now it's at 80 cents. It could go all the way back to the top at $6. What is this, $7?
That's huge upside.
This has a huge upside, and we've already seen it do that. If you go back to when was this? When it was still 27 cents thereabouts back in early December, and from 27 cents it went all the way past $7. So we've definitely seen this before. So it looks like, though, there's an intermediate top up there at about $3.50. If it doesn't get to $7, it should at least try to get to $3.50.
Not bad, not bad. MGPI.
This is one to watch for sure. This is definitely one to watch.
Let me see here. Yeah, definitely one to watch on this one. MJPI. Let me see here.
Is this a marijuana play? What is this one?
MJPI. Yeah, I'm actually going to want to find out. Somebody let me know what this is, because I really don't know much about it. I can't find pretty much any history really behind after December. Doesn't really have any history after that, but
You've got a lot of support here. More than enough support here, in the low 30s. But, man, that would have been a nice trade to get into this a little early at 35 cents here. Just a couple of days ago.
I would
Look
say
at that.
I would put my reputation on it and say if it's up tomorrow, people should get in because the upside is huge.
Yeah.
This has a huge upside. Even if it doesn't get to 350, there's still another level of support at $2. That's still, a huge gain from 80 cents. I mean, that's a solid $1.20 you could gain per share on that. So I would definitely look into getting into this one if it's a green day tomorrow.
Yeah, you're still low on the RSI. You're still low on volume, so you'd be still getting in pretty early if this truly is a new change in trend for MJPI. Okay.
Looks like, and if tomorrow's a green day, we'll see the 4 crossing the 8 exponential.
And
it's just happening now, but it hasn't fully gone into effect.
Oh yeah. Somebody said, is it good for the week? Well, we'll see. I mean, we're taking it only one day at a time here. But based on what we see so far, we can tell it's good for tomorrow if we see increasing volume tomorrow.
This is perfect.
Very low float. We had
right.
Success come in saying it's only 10 million floating. So 10 million floating and you're at 80 cents a share. I mean, you snatch that up. A million, shares tomorrow. That could move that well over $1. Tomorrow.
Did you see on the balance sheet? It's showing. Is that real? 1,005. It's showing $1,500 in total cash.
Man, look,
is that right?
Nobody cares, man. I you know what? I used to be, because the thing is, like, I used to be crazy about the fundamentals too. But this weekend I read how I made $2 million in the stock market by I forgot the guy's name.
And it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, the thing about his box theory is that he explained that he went into the fundamentals. He used to care about what the margins were and all that, but then he realized that investors don't even care about that crap, and all he was interested in is finding stocks that other investors wanted. Get into those stocks while it's still hot, and then get out with the momentum and just continue to do the process over and over. Buy breakouts, buy volume increase, and that's basically what he was doing.
And I often get flack for that because when someone says, "Well, how is the company doing?" I say, "Who cares? If you're reading the technical analysis and that's telling you that the stock is going up, it doesn't matter how badly the company's run."
Yeah.
And this is where you always get a fight between, technical traders and fundamental traders because fundamental traders believe, the company has to be healthy.
Yeah.
But I mean...
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, we can say that about Dries. Dries just put out, probably one of the most horrible balance sheets that I've seen maybe this year so far. And look what that did today. And look what that's probably going to do tomorrow. So... investors don't care. Investors don't care, and I apologize because I know I used to be that guy. I'll ask people on the air, "Hey, what do you know about this company? And they'll say, "Man, I don't really know anything about it." And I used to think like, "Man, how do you not know?" Right. But now that I think about it, sometimes you just got to be like that. That if people are buying, increasing volume, and just play the momentum, as long as you get out with the momentum on the good side of the trade. You're a winner.
And and the way I explained it, I think this is a good analogy. I explained it to James Brown, who is a regular on your show as well. Technical traders look at irregularity of the heartbeat. So, we all have a resting heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's 70, 80 beats per bar. What a technical trader will look for is when the heartbeat starts to speed up or to slow down. And fundamental investor worries whether the heart is actually healthy or not. As technical investors, we're just looking for those intermittent or short-lived irregularities. We spot an irregularity like, okay, heart rate is 70, it's now 90, let's get in right now. And then we try to get out before the heart comes back to its normal state. Whereas a fundamental, they're like, well, is the heart really healthy? At the end of the day, who cares, right? Because you're looking for those little bit of irregularities. The only issue that I would say, maybe for longer term swing traders where they want a value company, something that they can hold long term, that's when you maybe start looking into fundamentals. But other than that, if you're swing trading for, a day or two or a few days, who cares about, whether Warren Buffett is invested in that company or not?
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. So this is a stock we talked about last week. Kind of underperformed today, down 6%. Didn't come down across half the way of the bar like we had looked at another stock, but still maintained volume. This was PLUG. PLUG. Now still above the 4 and 8 here though. What do you think about it?
This one was outperformed. Someone called a sympathy play an FCEL. FCEL did a lot better relative to Plug, but let's stay with Plug right now. So, yeah, we had an equal, if not, the volumes were pretty similar for yesterday and today. We had a green day. This thing opened pretty much at the top Bollinger Band, but then it gave up all those gains. Lower wick touched the middle Bollinger Band, so we could still be okay. If it stays at the middle Bollinger Band, which is at $1.07, if it stays at the 107, we'll be okay. And obviously, even at the 107, we'll be still above the 4 and 8 exponential. So I would only start worrying about this if it crosses below $1. That's when I'd start worrying, because then it's pretty much going to try and threaten to go back to where it was at 84 cents. So below $1, I would worry, but if it's able to stay between the $1 and the $1.10 channel, if it stays within that channel, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, this is also a stock that a lot of shorting blogs, a lot of guys are getting really excited about this one too. I mean, the sharks are really swarming along this one because you can almost guarantee once this excitement is done, it's headed back for for the 80s and possibly lower on PLUG. So let's move on to what got it up here to begin with. FCEL, Fuel Cell Energy. This one, two very nice good days, a double-digit day today as well.
Yeah, 10% gain on the dot. Nice. Started with yesterday's bullish engulfing signal at the bottom of the chart, confirmed by today's green day. Closed, opened above the middle Bollinger Band. All this thing has to do, volume's pretty good. Just checking to see what the average volume for this one is, but this one is like Plug. Isn't this one a pretty liquid stock as well?
Yeah, it was liquid today, that's for sure. At I think 1.4 million traded in the stock.
3 month average is only 632,000.
Oh, wow.
So we're still well above in terms of, we're still at close to a 2x volume right there. So yeah, I think this is looking good. It just I'd like to see it get to that upper Bollinger Band in the 180s. I think 183, 184. But yeah, this looks really good, and we're above the 4 and 8 exponentials. So yeah, this is good.
Not bad. Here on FCEL, not bad on this stock at all. So, all right, I think we can wrap it up here. Bad scientist, man. I think when you have a bull market like this that's going on, man, there's so many stocks that are running right now. I mean, just so many opportunities for individuals to put their money in and make a return. I mean, would you agree with me that this isn't really the time to get, to create unnecessary risk?
I think so. And I will reiterate what I said on Friday, which is find something that works. Don't get, because if you really think about it, all these stocks going up, that's noise. What it does is it's more of a problem because it distracts you from whatever game plan you have. Find your own setup. So for me, it's, low RSI stocks with a bullish reversal pattern, possibly like an upper Bollinger Band breakout. Stick to what you know. Don't get distracted by the fact that everything is going up, because at the end of the day, you could be in a down market tomorrow. Something could happen. Don't get distracted by everything that's going up. Find the best setups and play those. Don't get distracted and say, KBSF is now at $20. Wow, should I jump in there? Unless you have a trading plan to deal with that, stick to what you know. Don't start, jumping into something that you're not familiar with.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
I'm trying to find at least one of the kind of stocks you like, a possible turnaround situation to end the day with. Now I'm on FinViz, and I know you like the candlestick to be doji. Then
at the bottom of the chart, yeah.
Then the RSI.
RSI less than 50, because 50 is the cutoff where it's neither oversold nor overbought. So anything less than 50, but the real good ones are the ones that are RSI 20, but you hardly get anything down there.
Sure.
I know PIP might be down there, but...
let's see here. Let's, because I want to end the one with... okay, RSI. Yeah, PIP is down there, actually. PIP is down there. PIP at $1.13. Low day on the volume, only 5.6 million, but still...
Yeah.
It's definitely one to watch. Let's see here. I'm looking for another good penny play. Low RSI, possible changing trend. Let's see here.
I'll just scan quickly through my list here for today.
SFUN. What do you think about SFUN? SFUN.
SFUN.
Not a big fan of Chinese companies, but I mean the stock was pretty much sideways today. You know what, that doji pattern, I don't know about that one, but still very low on the RSI, below at 31. Volume was kind of okay.
So you bring to the attention that doji sign, which is almost like the reverse of a hammer. It's almost like this one is called a gravestone doji. It's normally associated with negativity, but if it's at the bottom of the chart like this, I'm just not sure how it's gonna present itself tomorrow. But I would just say, whenever you're not sure, look to your 4 and 8 exponentials, and if the price is not crossing either the 4 or 8, just leave it alone. If it's crossing over the 4 and getting to the 8, that's when you should think about getting in.
Okay. All right, I think I might have found one you do like, but I don't like the volume on it. PKD.
Okay.
PKD sideways day today. Oil and gas play. Parker Drilling Company.
Today ended with a doji, right?
Yeah, ended with a doji today. So other than that, I don't see anything else of interest.
There is one that's actually looking not too bad. Could be tomorrow. Could be the second day in play. Low RSI. This one is NAVB, NAVB, and this one is quite a darling in terms of people love trading this one. NAVB, NAVB.
Yeah, I definitely remember this being definitely got some spikeability on this one.
Today we have another bullish harami right there, marking. You see the volume 2.6 million in volume.
Mm-hmm.
If tomorrow's a green day, I would say get in, because we closed right on the 4 exponential. So maybe you could wait until it breaches the 8 exponential at about 47 cents.
Mm-hmm.
But this one could be good. This one could definitely be good. The RSI on this, it bounced from yesterday's RSI of 20. It's only RSI 37. So at least it's one to watch.
Yeah, this is definitely one to watch there now, touching that bottom of that 8 exponential moving average. We'll see if we can close the gap tomorrow, as you said, NAVB. And this is one that, he's right, has spiked up before. In fact, if you go pull out the chart, you see multiple times where, the stock was breaking a trend, and then all of a sudden it just shot up higher. Now, this is a stock that doesn't maintain those gains, so if you do end up getting caught in there high, take your gains and keep it moving, because it won't last very much longer. But 43 cents a share now. I believe you're at the, nope, you're not at the 52-week low just no, actually just above it. Actually just above it. So NAVB looking to get back to its winning ways. Possibly.
And then one we talked about already, HEB, that's low RSI, looking like day one of recovery today. That one's a good one too.
Yeah, that's another one similarly priced too as well, HEB.
Yep.
Now it probably doesn't have the following as NAVB, but that's another one that could be changing situations too as well. You got a little bit of room here. The breakout is probably 67 cents until you hit resistance at 988. So 68 cents is the breakout, HEB. We'll see where it gets there. It was up 6 cents today. That's a double-digit gain for the stock. So we'll see what happens with these two stocks. But Bad Scientist, man, I guess we got you for the whole week, man. I really, really appreciate it, man. This market continues to put on gains. I read an article today. They were talking Nasdaq, S&P 3000 possibly.
Wow.
So that could just be absolutely insane if we see, this market turn up at possibly 3,000. Let me see. Is that SPX? Yeah, SPX, the SM Standard & Poor's 500 index. We're at 2328. And they're talking about possibly being at 3,000. I mean, why not? Why not? We're at 2328 right now. Dow Jones Industrial Average, we're putting on gains every single day. We cracked 20,000. We're at 20,412 right now. Dow Jones 30 Industrial. So.
I just switched to SPY just to see what the S&P 500 is doing, get an indication of the market as a whole.
Yeah.
Bullish expansion, I guess, when we cross the 20K on the Dow. Right now, all it's doing is it's tracking slightly above the upper Bollinger Band. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's still up. I mean, it might be, even for SPY, the RSI is around 73, 74, but well above the 4 and the 8 exponential uptrend, even on the 20, the middle Bollinger Band 20-day simple moving average. So even this is telling us that the market is still in an uptrend until we see a red day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a bull market. This has been confirmed. I mean, I don't know how else we can confirm it for you guys right now. So if you're not making any money, I think you really need to look at your trading system and reevaluate it, because there is no better time right now than to be making money. In the last 5 years, there's no better time than right now. I mean, every indication tells you that. We've gained, as I said, started the show earlier, $3.1 trillion worth of value has been created since November. All right, I don't know about you, but I just want 1% of that. That's all I'm looking for. You know what I mean? So if I get any more than that, that's good. But I just give me 1%. You know what I mean? So, but with that being said, Bad Scientist, man, thank you so much, man. So great.
Yeah, thank you. It's always a pleasure being on your show, and I love the fact that the audience is engaged and we're all striving for the same goal. So thank you. As long as people want me, I can come on the show and chat, because for me, this is this is my life beyond like anything else. So thanks so much for giving me the opportunity.
No, I greatly appreciate it, man. We're learning the candlesticks. I'm every day spending some time memorizing them, so hope to get as good as you in the next couple of days as you came on, and appreciate it. So I'm not the only
You're
one
already
talking,
there.
So.
I mean, with the money you've been making.
Oh man, and I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
You're
I'm hot,
killing
man.
it.
Let me rub this wooden table here, man, because I'm killing it right now, man.
I was gonna say that the pupil is now the teacher. I think you've surpassed me. You're actually better than I am at trading.
I'm just using your
something
signals,
I
man.
suggested.
I'm just using your signals. I mean, when we look at Nvidia, the options day chart. I mean, look at that beautiful setup. Broke the 4 and 8, and I'm just following it, man. And I have a March 24th 116 put, and I'm just holding on to gains, man.
You're holding.
Yeah,
wow,
so
I just love hearing stuff like that. Just getting the affirmation or confirmation that this style works, and you're like a champ at this. I mean, sometimes it's a gift that certain people have, but I think you've mastered this really, really well. So I wish you all the best and continued success in using the strategy.
All right, appreciate it, guys. We still have many days with you, Bats, and we're going to master it this week as well as other people in the chat room. So thanks a lot for the call, Bats.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sal. Thanks. Right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, so thank you again to all of you guys watching. If you haven't, press like right now on the video. Press like right now on this video. Great episode. We went through a ton of shares, a ton of different companies today. Here is the list. All right, here's the list of the stocks we like for the next following days. Let me get Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Lloyd, what's good with you, man?
Man, shit. Bats, get the hell off the line so other people call in and say some good shit. I can't even call in no more. Shit. I thought I was talking a long ass time. Bats, gosh damn, man. Go turn off your phone for a minute. Let the battery run out. Damn. All right.
What's going on with you, Mr.
Congratulations
Lloyd,
on your SPY, man. Did you finally sell the SPY or what?
Yeah, man. SPY. I'm out of SPY, but it keeps going up, man. And
hey, listen. It doesn't matter. It keeps going up. The thing of it is, did you walk out with a profit?
Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to the SPY, I don't like holding the SPY overnight. But that one I like to get in because you can, you never know the whole general market. Trump does something, the next day is down. But Nvidia is a put that I've been holding overnight since Friday. And that's just been, incredible. I mean, that's just been, It's
yeah. And looking at it right now, is that a daily or is that hour? I can't.
This is a daily. This is a daily chart.
Yeah. So I mean, as strong as oh my gosh, as strong as that candle is right there, man, you still got a ways to go. You might catch it for another $1. So
we'll see. I mean, my option doesn't expire to the 24th. I got a March 24th 116 call. So. I was not expecting. I mean, I put it out of the so far out because I was just in case, but now I'm way in the money. So any kind of pullback, man, I'm taking my money and running with it. But we'll see what happens on Nvidia because I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to jump in on the way up if it even dares to turn around because that'd be a huge move too.
Right, and that's the biggest problem that I think most traders face is that. It's easy to get in a trade, but to know when to get out. I mean, to really know when to get out because your focus turns so hard when you're up in profit. It's like you forget every fucking thing around you. But if you continuously practice taking those profits, those small gains, I mean, you wouldn't really have to worry, man. I mean, even though it's still going up, you can catch it when it goes back the other way. Just go find something else, and That's something that I suffer with is that when you get out of something, you see the shit still going up, you feel bad about it. But at the end of the day, just be glad that you walked out with something instead of nothing.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be my first day using Tastyworks. That's the new $1 per contract broker, no closing fees at all for any closing trades, absolutely free closing trades. And I'm going to let you guys know how it is, man. It's pretty much options focused. You can buy stocks, short stocks. What I like about it, too, is that they give you automatic level 4 everything. I mean, I can buy naked calls, spreads, everything right out the gate. So I'm going to be really interested. I'm going to be creating a review on that and posting that up tomorrow. But Nvidia, yeah, looking good, man. I mean, but how about you, Mr. Lloyd? How's your day been going, man?
Good, man. I was up like $200 this morning, and the first hour and a half, I could have sold and got my 260 or 250, 260, but I decided to hold Amazon overnight with the spread that I'm doing because I only had one day trade left, and so I mean I'm pretty confident that Amazon is going to continue to rise, and even if I don't get the $260, you know, I'll be good with the 200 or 180, whatever the case is tomorrow. I'm gonna take those profits and then go ahead and go ahead and enter another trade. And my goal is to make that 160, 180, and hopefully as I get a little bit more confidence, and I'll start, you know, accumulating $400, $1,000 a week.
Dude, I think you can definitely do that. I mean, look at Amazon, dude. Since the 7th of February, you're up almost $28 a share, or something like that. That's crazy.
Right. And tomorrow's actually going to be a test run for me for Renter Center. So I don't know if you remember, we talked about it a while ago. RCII. And tomorrow they have earnings. So the crazy thing is that I bought 3 calls and 2 puts. So I think I spent I bought the calls back then when they were like 5 or 10 cents or something like this. I bought 3 just for shits and giggles. And I just bought 2 puts today, and I spent like $40, $50 on that, and I calculated. And if they have some big move tomorrow, let's say it goes down to $3 or $2, I'll make $700,000 off $60, or vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a damn if you do and damn if you don't tomorrow for me. So my $60, $80 investment should turn around to be $300 to $400 in either way.
Yeah,
so I'm
Renter Center at $8.45. Yeah, man, you got a lot of potential here. You got a lot of upside too, man. You just not too long ago it was a $10 stock, so a lot of
tomorrow has earnings. Tomorrow's earnings.
Okay, so earnings is after hours or is in the morning?
It's in the morning, so I'm expecting good news and bad news. But the cool thing I like about these type of and GDX was something similar to this. The thing I like about these type of options is that they're really cheap, and all it takes is one good news to sprout up to give you that $700,000 or $6,000 move. And so this is something that I found a while back. Remember, I was trying to find something similar to GDX. So I'm hoping a $60 investment can turn into $700 to $1,000 tomorrow. So I'll definitely let you know how that turns out for this particular play. But these things are kind of hard to find, man. This is the only one that I found since we talked about that $6,000 move with GDX. If I can find these on a continual basis, man, I mean, I don't have to play these big ass stocks. All I got to do is put in, $60, $70 and just let it ride for a couple of weeks and get my money. So, but other than that, man, I really just called to congratulate you on that SPY. I know you're a little nervous about it, and because of the way it was fluctuating. But candlesticks do play a part into it as in a way, and then you got other things that factor into it. But I love how Bass gives that illustration on the candlesticks. But just remember, it's just to help you to. It's a tool. It's nothing that should be depended on or solely depended on as one item. So you have to look at everything in general, and still you have to go with your gut feeling, because even though you may see a bullish Haremy or a bullish engulfing, doesn't mean that stock is going to float up to the moon. You know what I'm saying? So, but I got to tell you one stock that I'm really upset at, man. That we really had some hopes for back in the day with BAA.
Oh yeah, man. BAA was.
That Yeah, that shit was 32 cents, man. I remember like, oh yeah, that shit's gonna sprout up to $5 one day, and now we down to fucking 16 cents.
You know, man, here's the thing about BAA. It's just, I don't know. I mean, nobody likes it, dude. I mean, nobody likes it. I mean, you've got companies with worse balance sheets. I mean, it's in a profitable business. It's not a profitable company per se, but you know, I've seen a lot worse trading on the OTC markets. That's you know, that's trading a lot higher than that. So
Right.
I don't know what's going on with BAA, but you know, if they reverse split, you know, but it does have a huge float. Last time I checked, the float is pretty large. So I think I'd love to see it reverse, get some of that float off its books, and if it can, you know, get little low, get thin, you know, I think they'll get shorted down to, you know, to a more reasonable price, and then maybe we can start seeing it act like a Dries or a Plum or something like that. So we'll see.
And I got another thing I just wanted to share out there. So I'm so thankful that I got out of INV. You know, if you guys are in a trade and your gut feels like, damn, I need to get the fuck out of this, but you don't, you just try to go to those message boards to try to find some hope. I mean, that was me back in the day. But now, you know, I think I got out at 19 cents, and now the stock is trading at 15 cents. And they're getting ready to do another public offering, which is probably going to bring the stock down to like 7 cents, and most likely they're going to have to do a reverse split. But if you guys get a feeling in your stomach or just in the back of your head, go with it. You know, ask questions later, but just go with it, because obviously that feeling is there for a reason. And sometimes we ignore that and either, you know, stick our chest out like, hey, I'm going forth with this shit no matter what. And sometimes it may work, but just think about all the times that it doesn't. I feel like it happens to go against you more than it goes in your favor. And I don't know about for you, but I mean, how about you, Sally? Do you think when you feel that feeling in your head when you're making a trade like, shit, I shouldn't do this? I mean, do you think 9 out of 10 that goes in your favor than against you?
Man, I get that feeling when I should make a trade and I don't, and it went exactly the way I thought it was, usually in a positive way. So I see a trade that I should take this trade, but the risk is a bit large, and I see it and I should take the trade, but I don't, and then I come back an hour later or a day later and I'm like, what the fuck? I saw it. Why didn't I jump on it? You know what I mean? So not trusting myself into going it. So I typically don't have, you know, the insight of, man, I should get out, because I follow a very clear rule on when to take my losses. But yeah, usually when it's time to go in, and I don't go in.
Right. And as far as the candlesticks, man, and as much as I try, I mean, I try to do the minute by minute and try to see if I can see these candlestick patterns, but it's really hard, especially when you have money on the line. I mean, we can talk about it all day, the tweezers and the backflip and the put your toe between your mouth candlestick, and at the end of the day, when you got money on the line, it's like you don't see shit. It's like I don't know about for you. I don't know if you played football back. You played football back in the day?
Of course.
All those plays that you had to memorize, and when you get out on the field, all you remember is fucking 2 or 3 plays, and that's it.
That's it, man.
You know, so it's like I know about 3 or 4 candlestick patterns when it comes to like real live trading, but let us talk about it offline, and you see this shit all day. Yeah. But it's when it's live, it's hard as shit to see anything, because you got to keep the eye on the indicator. Okay, you're looking at your money. Okay, do I feel like I lost nothing? You got that gut feeling kicking in, like, oh shit, I think I need to pull out, and all this indicator's telling me this, and so, you know, it's really, you know, getting those emotions in check, man. I mean, I don't know if I need to start drinking before I start trading, so I'm more relaxed, because when you looking at this shit live, it's like a whole different story. You shut your door. Nobody better not knock on that motherfucker to tell me about anything.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that, man. I mean, but that's when I get back to just doing support and resistance, man. Because, you know, like just like you said, I mean, as the chart is developing, you know, you're looking at and I play the 5 minute. The daily just drives me insane. My heart starts beating, and I mean the 1 minute chart, the heart starts beating, and you tend on the 1 minute chart, you tend to pull out too fast. because
Right.
you're moving, you're too sensitive at 1 minute.
Right.
So I play the 5 minute, and so I just go back to support and resistance, man. And are we about to break an important resistance line? Are we breaking out the daily high? Are we about to break the daily low? For example,
Right.
Nvidia today. Nvidia, this is a line I marked here where I set the daily low, and then all of a sudden I saw that it had broke through the daily low. That's a short. That means I need to hoard up on puts at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
there's a high probability that we're gonna break through that and continue to go lower. So that's
Right.
where you just get back into support and resistance lines, man. Because you
Right.
can't not always get to the candlesticks, but you can put those lines in the chart and help you breathe a little bit.
And this is just my experience. You guys, if you really get into candlesticks, I love candlesticks. I mean, me and Baskin, we can talk about that shit all day. But when you look at that shit on a fucking 1 minute chart, and if you're trying to scalp a trade and you see a bullish engulfing, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get up in there. So you get on that bullish engulfing, and as soon as it goes up, you see the big ass red candle. Notice damn well it was a bullish engulfing pattern, seeing that it was supposed to go up. Now you got this fucking big ass long tugboat, red candle sinking down. Like, where the fuck did this come from? This is supposed to be going up. So I think the 1 minute chart is very hard for me to read candlesticks. I mean, short term wise, I mean, it may work, but I can't seem. I mean, you will make a lot of mistakes, in my opinion, if you try to read a 1 minute chart in the candlesticks. I mean, you definitely have to depend on support and resistance and other factors. But from what I've been advised of, that as far as indicators, only should be used when the market is moving sideways, and not when the market is trending. I mean. So, I mean, when you have a market going straight up, let's say Amazon had bought Apple and Tesla, it's going to be oversold. I mean, it's going to go straight up. It doesn't mean that it's oversold. I mean, you're buying news, but however, so the indicator will be faulted. If you have a market that's moving sideways and you can't determine if it's at the top or bottom, that's when you're supposed to look at the indicators to determine, okay, we're in the oversold category. So, everybody looks at indicators differently, but I only look at indicators when I'm trying to place a trade and the market is moving sideways, or there's really no big candles to kind of tell me what's going on. So that's just a food for thought for those who may be using. I mean, if you see a big ass green candle for 3 or 4 days, and you're like, oh man, it's oversold. But however, they just bought out 5 companies. It's not oversold. It's still good news. I mean, it's not going to go down because of that. So you have to be careful, not to get psyched out when you see these indicators. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
There it is, man. Thank you so much for the call, Mr.
Yeah, no worries, man. Hey, I hope you. So, what, you got any more? Are you going back into SPY?
To SPY, yes. Tomorrow, I plan on getting back into it, and I'm just getting in the money and riding the daily momentum, man. That's basically what I'm doing. When the market opens up, if I see the volume is holding, I just get in with the momentum in the money trade and ride it on up, and then I'll end up selling towards the end of the day, hopefully trying to get 40-50% or whatever it was for the day. I mean, if you hold overnight in SPY, depending on what the move was, you're getting as much as 110, 120%. I'm not getting all of that, but I'm getting a lot of it intraday by waiting to see if that price is going to be supported. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just jumping in and riding the wave. This is a bull market, and if I see the market holding SPY, then I just jump in and ride it, man. Another one, DIA. DIA is the Dow Industrial Average. That one's doing pretty well as well. So, but yeah, just playing these whole ETFs that are just hot right now, man. They're just hot.
Right. Well, cool, man. I'm looking forward to see how SPY turns out. Looks like, looking at the hourly, it's touching the 8 exponential moving average.
Yeah,
and so if we get a bounce off that tomorrow, I mean, it looks like had a doji back on what's that, 210. So, and then it gapped up. So, man, that'll be real nice to get a. Oof, I might end up buying some calls on this one just for shits and giggles. It went from 230, 231 all the way up to. Oh, it's only $1. It ain't that much,
but I mean the percentage move though for 30 cents in this thing is ridiculous, man. And
hey, but if you look at the hourly chart and it's sitting way oversold at 86%. I mean, excuse me, 86.
Yeah. And
it gapped up a whole $1. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. So that even though something may show oversold, but if it's in a trendy market, it's very hard to use indicators. Yeah. But like I said, that's just my opinion. Everybody use their indicators the way they want to. But as far as what I've been taught is that you use it when things are moving sideways and you can't make a determination where the market is.
All right, but I think if you're going options, though, I think the best upside, besides the SPY, you got to talk about Nvidia probably turning around based on what Intel did today. Intel was very bearish. It was bearish last week, towards the end of last week. Actually, from the almost beginning of February, you were bearish in Intel, but last week pretty much very aggressively, and then sure enough, towards the end of the day last week, it found its way higher. Now you're up almost 50 cents, 80 cents a share in Intel, representing a pretty good return in those calls. So I'm looking at seeing maybe this could be something where Nvidia will do the same thing once it finds a floor. Man. Once it finds a floor, whatever that floor will be.
Well, it's riding right on the 200-day moving average right now. So if we got to open below this, what is this, 108, then we got a full ride down. But if it's not, I mean, it's.
And I'm looking at AMD possibly breaking 14 this week as well as those bands tighten up. So we'll see what happens on AMD.
Damn, that's a beautiful ride down, man. What the hell happened? Man, the video, man, that's been like it's like a love-hate relationship with that damn stock. I mean, I lost some money on this shit.
Damn.
But a $20 move, can you just...
Man, it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. It's not going to be a forever thing, man. And I that's why every day I'm going to pull up the chart at least once, because it will turn around. And once it turns around, man, can you imagine the return that you'll be able to get riding this up from 108 back to support? You know what I mean?
Right. Thanks for the lookout on this. I'm going to keep my eye on this, because it looks like if we break this 108 and below, then Houston, we're gonna have a problem here. Yeah. So might be good for some puts here, probably some long term, but we'll see. So
we'll see. Yeah.
Hey Bass, I ain't gonna outbeat you today on the mic, man. So I'm gonna have to get somebody else on here. But have a good one, Sal.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, man.
Right,
I'm out here for the day. Thanks a lot,
Bass. I really appreciate everything. All right, thanks. Bye bye.
All right, so shout out. It's interesting because we closed right on that 108.36, and this is the third time we've reached 108.36 in the video. All right, that's the third time we've reached that. So, we'll see if we break lower than 108. Then this is something serious here. But if we look to go into the other direction, why not risk a long-term call, a March call, or something out the way that you can ride for a little bit, even if you're wrong for a couple of days to begin with. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I mean, it's been a great show. We went through so many. We went through some OTCs, we went through some Nasdaq, some higher price stocks. Ended the show with some options. Thank you guys so much for the calls. Yeah, Robert, I do remember AMD. AMD was a lot cheaper than $8. We had been talking about AMD, way back when. Let me go back. Shit, man. I started the show back in June. So, yeah, we were talking about AMD at like $4, dude. $4 or $5, and then you can go back even further. AMD, was a $2.50 stock at the beginning of the year. That's just a fact, man. Now we're talking about AMD $14. So you're talking about a stock that's up you know, what is that? Well over 700, 800% now, 700%. So, man, this is, you know, incredible, man. Absolutely incredible when you talk about what's been going on with AMD, you know. And I still think you got some value that need to be added on to that based on what we know what the company can do. All right. Yes. Yeah, definitely did. Definitely did. So, again, let me put on the tickers for tomorrow. Great episode, man. You know, I know we can't get through everybody's stuff, but thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on the air tomorrow, same time, same place. More and more tickers. Bring all your tickers tomorrow, and we'll go through them. So, great show tonight. I hope you guys are learning, man. I hope you guys are making some money every day here, because, you know, we had well over 30 stocks, 30 different, you know, stocks that were up, you know, double digits. You know, and that's just below $5. You know, that's just below $5 with good volume too. 250,000 and higher. So, you know, you had multiple opportunities to make some money. All right. So again, please like this. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Happy trading tomorrow. Look out for that review on Tasty Trade. $1 per contract, $5 for unlimited shares. No commission on selling, on closing the trade. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that is and if they have borrows. Unfortunately, no OTCs, so it is what it is on that. With that being said, thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful for every single one of you guys. Tell your friends about us. Share these videos, whatever you do, where we can grow our community, bring more minds together for us to find new ways to make more money so we can all be small cap millionaires. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. All right, Desert Edge, Tony Buff, Plug-in Films, Africa Emporium, James Brown, Robert Dupree, Master 82, Benny Lay. Thank you. Hey, Benny, call in sometime, man. Monkman, Mag 3690, Q DeMayo, Bad Scientist. Again, thank you so much, man. Donzel Essex, thank you, sir. Marika, you said, can you put the video with the guy who teaches the course? Oh man, I gotta find that link. Come into the Discord room. I don't know if anybody has that torrent. How to make money with less than $500. How to trade with less than $500. The torrent site that link was on got deleted. So, yeah, it's a tough one on that one. I remember that one. Yeah, Big Zini, Trader Die 3000, Samuel Castile, Our World. Who else is in here, man? Relative 9692. King James. Alex Lasan. Of course, Mr. Lloyd. There he goes with the Discord room. There's the link to the Discord room. Thank you guys so much, every single one of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.